for Archers. Only bowled the 6 overs for Sussex, 1 for 11 still. Dan Ibrahim's got through 5 overs.
Apologies if any of you were frozen for a second or two there. I might be back now.
We'll keep going through some comments, those engaging from wherever in the world. And a couple of technical glitches today, but hopefully we're right now. Keep us updated in the comments. I think we're okay.
End of the over then, 252 for 4, 61 gone. Sorry, 9 down now.
Just as I mentioned, Keema Roach is going to right, he's now up for 4.
How about that? Imagine if Worcestershire go and win at the Oval, that would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Might also throw a title race over, and I know there's a long way to go. Long way to go, one shouldn't get ahead of oneself. But yeah, 201 for 9. What an effort from Worcestershire. 3 wickets for Matthew Waite. I like Matthew Waite as a cricketer a lot. Left Yorkshire, just a single there.
Just looking at that Hong Kong application thing, it still says CRB or equivalent. Didn't the Criminal Record Bureau become DBS about 15 years ago?
Well, it says equivalent, doesn't it? So
yeah,
Hong Kong though, they might have the
different names. I just think that they are a bit 15 years behind. It says play. You want to be a women's cricket coach, but play as well. Tom Banton taking that single into the covers. Good to see Ben Gibbon getting that wicket of Roach. For Worcestershire. Ben Gibbon got whacked around a bit when he was down here in the One Day Cup. He's a good left armour and he's a good talent. I think it'll be worth persevering for. Keep refreshing the live stream. I know people are saying that keep us updated. We'll
hopefully you're all back with us. Welcome back. Apologies, technical gremlins creeping in again. Tend to lurk when you least want it. No gremlins out on the pitch yet for Somerset in the last hour or so though. Tom Banton and James Rue putting on that partnership. The 2 potential wicket keepers in this side as well. Very different profiles, very different backstories, but similar in the sense that they burst onto the scene very young, immediately performing at a top level. That's not a great ball, but tucked away off his leg. And I thought it was just going to be one, but actually he's placed it really well there, James Rue. It just looked like a single to short fine leg, but actually
it's remarkable cricket because
he was.
Do you not think that's the kind of ball you try and whack for 4 or 6?
Yes.
And I thought, oh, why has he not attacked it? And he's just donked it on the head, tapped it for 4, and perfect placement. It has accelerated. You thought the fielder was going to catch it. It just never quite gets there.
Yeah, it looked like, as you say, he got away with a full toss there, Harry.
And is that Jacob Hurry and Harry Trump nearly got cleaned up by Nathan Gilchrist running into them. The photographers sitting together out there.
I think there's a photographers union, a bit like there's a goalkeepers one.
A little bit, yeah. I was actually chatting to Jacob and he was saying him and Phil Mingo are doing some photography, as is Harry Trump, and the 3 of them often just sit and have a chat and they're getting the same pictures for different agencies.
It's ideal, that, isn't it?
Just sit and have a chat. They might take 6,000 pictures across a day and 2 of them will be used, but that's the life of a photographer, I think. Tom Banton defending. And Compton still running around. I just think Kenton missed a trick here this session. They've not really got the field settings right. They look a bit deflated, a bit downhearted.
Oh yeah.
Not much of a buzz about them. Maybe that fear of that September game last year when TKC whacked it everywhere. Is that in their heads? He's not even playing in this game, but they just don't seem like they're up and about trying to win this game.
Well, thing is, these two are batting so well, and most of the Somerset players, apart from Dixon, who didn't get a chance to get going, they've come out and they've just seen batters in good touch. So yeah, they picked up wickets, but as a bowler, you're a bit demoralised because you're just seeing batters hit the ball to all parts. What are you watching now?
Someone's just tweeted me a link of the Hong Kong Sixes final. Sorry.
Is this the one Triggs played in?
Pakistan England Grand Final, Hong Kong Sixes. Chris Reed opens a batting. It looks like.
Can we get that on the live stream? I wonder. A little bit of Hong Kong Sixes. Probably can't actually. I shouldn't say that. So that's pushed to Daniel Bell Drummond. You're preoccupied. I was trying to signal to Harry whose ends. we try and do an end each here.
When I stood there, not when Triggs.
No. Just let him do both. But I was trying to give Harry the signal, and usually he's concentrating, but actually he's now in the depths of the Hong Kong Sixes 2-5.
It's very blurry.
11.
Darren Stevens there. In at 3. In at 6 aside.
So Triggs is out at this point, I think, is he? Because he opened the batting.
Last importance of county championship cricket, Darren Stevens with his chewing gum. Do have a look at my Twitter. It's just been Harry_14. It's just been tweeted a link to me if you want to double screen for a little bit. A few seagulls just circling over the Cooper Associates county ground.
Yeah, it's post-picnic time, isn't it? It's that time when they can kind of feed off the scraps.
A few ice creams lurking around somewhere.
What do you reckon the Seagulls' flavour of choice is? Ice cream wise, reckon they stick for vanilla?
So the seagulls on mine.
No, not yours. The seagulls. What do you reckon they go? Do you reckon they turn their noses up? No. I tell you what, I was in Lake Como the other week, and the ice cream there was absolutely acceptable.
Gelato.
Oh, the gelato, yeah. There was
a pizza and ice cream.
You know what? The pizza we had was the worst pizza I've ever had. We got a recommendation
in Italy.
Yeah, someone who I was over there working.
Is this actual Italy, or is this like Wayne Madston's Italy?
No, this is actual Italy, Lake Como. And we went for this pizza, and it was basically, they'd been there a few times, and I went back and said, how many drinks had you had when you go to this pizza place? Because it was awful. You know, but the beauty was, the meal, like the prices, it was basically it was just off the main square. It was one of those tourist trap places, it's like going for dinner in Leicester Square. And
except during Lake Como, but yeah.
It was so bad that it was funny. Just the service, the price, how bland it was.
Sam, I know you're a snob, and I know you're posh now. You're up in Cheshire. You're not really a West Country bumpkin anymore, but I didn't realise you were this.
What do you mean?
This food not being up to your standards.
This pizza was like I was in Italy. I was expecting good pizza in Como. I'd have rather have had a Pizza Express from
Pizza Express, very posh.
Yeah. Wow, they're nice, aren't they? Anyway,
God, we've covered some tangents today, haven't we? Blinking out.
We like to cover a lot of ground, don't we? Still got plenty of ground to cover as well. Still got 30 overs.
Meanwhile, that's a play and a miss from Tom Banton. Marks O'Riordan. A rare play and miss.
Meanwhile, Gloucestershire still haven't lost a wicket. 245 without loss now. Cameron Bancroft 111. Ben Charlesworth 89.
Oh, a bit of a hesitant thought about a single or not.
Keaton Jennings has 100.
We are back. If you might be on the wrong live stream, there's a couple different YouTube live stream links, so do just check you're on the right one. Lady B has helpfully put it in the comments for us. Great work, Lady B. So make sure you're on the right link. There's only 649. I've had to re-sign in and give it a thumb up again just to make sure you're on the correct link.
Yes, I've given it a thumbs up.
Afternoon, Jacob. Tom Banton, great use of the feet. That's going to just carry for 6 over extra cover. Glorious shot. Tell you what, that has been a hot tip. That chap I talked about earlier in the season, earlier in the day, picked up one-handed. Yeah, that's him clambering over to get it from the temporary stand now, isn't it?
Yeah, there he is.
The good arm. That man has fielded 3 balls out there.
I tell you what.
One from James Rue, one from Banton. Who's the first one? It was Banton before lunch, wasn't it?
When they go around the press room about 5 o'clock and kind of gauge who people want to interview, I think he might have to be doing the post play. Yeah.
He's got his one-day cup shirt on. He did have a jacket over the top then, but he's got that lovely multicoloured.
Well, that's what confused me. I wasn't sure. I loved that one-day cup shirt, by the way. I know it was controversial.
4 quarters, isn't it?
I thought it was beautiful.
Steve Davies, it screams to me. It's sort of his last year.
It's me. Screams and you need to me.
Well, chance of it. As that's going to be tea as we waffle on about the One Day Cup, which starts again in August. Myself, Harry Up and Sam Danley have enjoyed Tom Banton and James Rue having a pretty useful partnership here. They've got that first batting bonus point. It's 265 for 4. There's been a couple of chances missed by Kent. They've looked a bit flat in the field, to be honest with you. Joe Denley yet to bowl any leg spin yet, but we've had a few off spin overs from Marcus O'Riordan. Do join us again in about 19 minutes time to talk you through the remaining 32 overs of this first day of the 20th century.
Outlets: Stragglers Coffee House, Marcus Truscothic Pavilion Lower Concession, Great Catch Fish and Chip Bar, and the Botham Bar. Each concession is fully stocked with a range of hot and cold options to suit all tastes. Matchday dining is also available in the county room. We offer breakfast, a carvery lunch and afternoon tea. The annual general meeting of members will be held at the Cooper Associates County Ground in the County Room on Wednesday, May the 29th at 7 p.m. The meeting will be live streamed and recorded for those members unable to attend in person. Questions may also be asked in advance of the meeting by emailing agm@somersetcountycc.co.uk or by writing to Somerset County Cricket Club, AGM Questions, Cooper Associates County Ground, Taunton, TA1 1JT. Questions should be submitted by Friday, May the 24th. You will also be given the opportunity to ask questions on the evening. Members are reminded that they have until Tuesday to cast their votes. Details of how to do so were included in the AGM notice. Join us on Saturday, June 22nd for an unforgettable evening of music, patriotism and pure joy as we celebrate the last night of the proms. From the stirring melodies of Land of Hope and Glory to the iconic Rule Britannia and Jerusalem, this is an opportunity to immerse yourself in the heart and soul of British musical heritage. Limited tickets are just £18 per person, are still available until June the 1st. Anyone who buys a ticket over the next 4 days will also go into a prize draw to be upgraded to 1875 Club Hospitality for them and 3 guests. reminder that scorecards are available from reception in the Marcostroscopic Pavilion. Members have also been emailed a free copy of the scorecard for this match. And the Cooper Associates County Ground is now a cashless venue. We are certain that the introduction of cashless payment will see improvements in respect of reduced queuing times and improving customer service on busy match days. Please welcome back onto the field your two umpires, Neil Harper and Rob White. And out for the evening session, led out by Captain Daniel Bell-Drummond of Kent, and your two knockout Somerset batters, Tom Banton and James Reed.
Good evening and welcome back to the Cooper Associates County Ground, where Tom Banton is 66 not out. James Rew has almost caught him up on 63 not out. James Rew dominated the strike a little bit in that last session. Tom Banton wouldn't have said slowed down, but James Rew bopped a couple of sixes and ran down the wicket quite a lot to Marcus O'Riordan and the off-spinner. It's going to be a different challenge straight after tea with the paceman from this area, Nathan Gilchrist, back into the attack. He's going to steam in down below us at the Marcus Roscovic Pavilion end. I'm Harry Everett, Sam Dalling is with me. Pete Trigo will be back with us later on as well. And we're here to see if Somerset can get more batting bonus points before the end of the day, or if Kent can fight back with a couple of middle order wickets. Will the two wicket keepers get to hundreds here? James solidly in behind that one. Steady start. Shout out to all of you guys on the YouTube live stream. Back with us. Sorry for the network issues we've had across the day, but hopefully you've been managing to hear us and enjoy the cricket. Where Somerset, you know, if Surrey keeps struggling against Worcestershire, Somerset could go top of the table with a big win and a big Surrey loss.
Oh,
come Sunday or Monday, dare I say that?
Dare to dream.
Kent currently in 8th position above Hampshire and Lancashire, all teams in the bottom two spots.
Oh, they're set up nicely, aren't they? They started this game really well. This partnership in particular is, well, it could set Somerset up for something quite special. Certainly you back them to get a big total here. Just that 100 so far this season. Well, actually I should stop talking there, shouldn't I? I should stop talking. Kent fans will be hoping it will remain 100 for the season for Somerset.
Just leaving a couple, getting his eye back in is James Rew. He's had his 20-minute tea break. He'll probably played a couple of these before the interval, but he's a bit more watchful now.
Trying to concentrate.
James Rew wishing outside off stump just as I say that.
Eh?
Watchful, yeah. He's decided enough's enough, and he's going to try and beat that. Ben Compton at short extra cover. Shout out to Lloyd White, who's normally a BBC commentator, fan, but today he's listening to the live stream. We have people who flip between, like Anthony Gibson and Annie Chave and Ian Randall from Gloucestershire, who's a Kent man today. They're sat next door. People flip between them and us. Anyone welcome at all times, of course. Another swish, player miss from James Rew. And yeah, nice to have first time viewers on the live stream.
It's just moving in the air and off the pitch, isn't it, from Gilchrist?
It makes you wonder why he didn't bowl a little bit more before tea. Or maybe it's just he need that reinvigoration. Get him going again. Bit of energy, bit of time to put his feet up. Kent aren't a particularly loud vocal team, not picking up much in our effects mic. Somerset there's a lot of, you know, come on Ames, come on Grego, a lot of support, a lot of bit of chat, banter.
Isn't it?
Well, no, but you can hear it from the players as well. That's the shot he's been looking for, James Rew. He's going to go for 4, is it? Good fielding up there? Great bit of work. Diving stop, good arm as well. Saved 2 runs there. Money was on the ball there, but
Yeah, we both assumed that was going to go, I think. I had.
decent over from Nathan Gilchrist. James Rew making contact with that last ball. It's more of a punch drive, that one, than the 2 swishy drives he went for beforehand. Late tea taken at Trent Bridge as Lyndon James batted through the session. He got 52. Partnership of 69 with Calvin Harrison, and he was at Taunton Dean and King's College. Bowling last night in that Knox quarter-final game I was rewatching.
Oh, yeah. Well, did you see him bowling last week, though? Where
Yes.
he came right arm through and over.
Through and around.
Through and over, wasn't it? 'Cause he came through and over?
Oh, yes, he started around
around.
and then came through. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
that's
so
right, yeah.
he went around and through. So
Yeah, no, it would be through and
around.
over.
Through and
It's
over.
around, through and over, technically,
yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah, you have to think about it.
Around and through
and
means
over.
you go that. You can start over and you go.
That would be through and
there.
around. Yeah.
That's around and through, you call it.
No, through and around that would be.
Around and through, you say, though, don't you?
No, I'm coming through and around.
Around and through. No. Grant Stewart's coming over. Oh, and it's put down. Another drop
Zach
catch
Crawley
from
again.
Kent. Zach Crawley puts his head in his hands. He's down on 2 knees. He's looking back at the bowler, then he's looking back at the turf. A man of his calibre, you would expect to take that one. He put that one down off Tom Lammonby when he scored just one run. Tom Lammonby punished him and he's put Tom Banton down. Let's have another look at that. It was a swipe outside off stump. Stewart's ready to
Poor old
celebrate.
Stewart. How many times has Grant Stewart in the last few games missed out on? Should have been a wicket. Got to feel for him, really. Deserves more than he's got as Grant Stewart today. Kent have been profligate.
Ooh, good use of the word. Dropped on.
One, Tom Lammonby was dropped on.
Yeah, dropped on 66 Banton now. The Lammonby one has already proven costly.
That was
this
probably
time
easier than this one.
He's around, and that's a
And there's a
misfield
miss
from Ben Compton. We are very much in tune, aren't we?
Well, I just
Just a
think it's
single.
sloppy for a Division 1 side professional cricketers. They should be diving on the ball and they should be... Zach Crawley's an England Test slipper and he's dropped 2 catches.
Yeah, he shouldn't be dropping
That one was harder, don't get me wrong, but it was still one he should take.
Yeah, I think absolutely should take this. Joe Denley out of deep square leg now. Well, deep backward point actually is for Tom Banton because they've changed end. So one slip, Marcus O'Riordan. And Zach Crawley is in at gully. And that one has gone through the vacant second slip area. Grant Stewart, he will be ticking over a little bit in this over. Banton moves on to 71. That would have gone straight to second slip. Now, there's no guarantee it would have been caught. Let's have another look at that one. Just shaping out. A bit of movement, actually, this first couple of overs. A bit of movement in the air, a little bit off the pitch. Banton playing away from his body. Next one through the slips for form.
That's, I mean, silly really from Tom Banton to keep going and keep playing that shot, but he's going to get away with it. When Marcus O'Riordan is going wider now, it's odd to see a young off-spinner in at first slip. I mean, I like that.
And actually, I was thinking about that. Banton uses his legs, leaves that one alone. This is good from Grant Stewart.
Uses his legs to leave that one alone.
Uses his feet, uses his legs. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, 26 shot already. He's not that young.
But he must have pretty good hands. I know Crawley has dropped 2 here, but he's generally a very, very good catcher. Actually, he's outstanding. Denley too. So to be the man in at first slip ahead of those two suggests he can hold a cricket ball. It's interesting, isn't it? You've noticed, well, I don't know if you have. I've felt there's been this trend in county cricket, cricket generally. And Banton uses his feet again, and this time cover does get. He got a hand on that, Ben Compton, but they come through for a single. First slip tends to almost be at 1.5 slip these days by default.
Trying to cover more ground.
You think the keepers are so athletic now. I noticed it up at Durham with Ollie Robinson. You basically back your keeper to catch most things that go to first slip, and you're trying to cover more ground. And it must be deliberate, that. So, Tom Banton living a little bit of a charmed life post-tee. He is still there, though. So Grant Stewart is coming around the wicket. James Rue shows him a straight bat, but gets a finger on it. So there'll be no run. End of the over then, 274 for 4. If you're just joining us on the live stream, welcome. Somerset in a decent position here. Kent desperate to break this partnership. They nearly did. They perhaps should have done. Zach Crawley putting down Tom Banton, but just after tea. So 30 overs remaining. We've had a couple of overs this session.
Almost the best news of the day. Sorry, no batting bonus points. 230 and all out.
It's not like other people. It's a bit like football, isn't it? In football, teams, well, as we saw with Spurs and Arsenal, teams celebrating the misery
more than they celebrate their own team's success. I don't mind, a bit of banter, a bit of rivalry, but when you're more bothered about another team doing badly than your own team doing well, I think that's ridiculous.
I mean, that was quite something, wasn't it? Those Spurs celebrations. I can almost, even if they were mid-table, fine, but they were on for the Champions League anyway. But with Surrey, people like to celebrate Surrey basically not winning games of cricket, or not even not winning games of cricket, just getting bowled out relatively cheaply. I don't know if I advocate that or not, probably do.
So the first slip is ridden again. And got more of a gully is Zach Crawley. A good stride into the ball, straight bat. Bit of a sign of hubbub around the ground, that sort of lull period, the afternoon. People have just had a bit of food, bit of a drink after tea. Oh, that's going to be a double appeal. I don't think it's going to be out now. Not much conviction in that appeal from Nathan Gilchrist.
I said it earlier on when there was a shout. I mean, that was... problem is with Banton, he's so tall. I know he crouches, but you've got to hit him. He stands up just as the bowler's about to bowl, so it's hit him the top of that front pad. He's batting outside his crease and taking a step down by default. So even if you are dead straight, the chances, unless you hit it, you've got to hit him below the knee roll, I think, to get him LBW.
Yeah.
Unless you're a spin, it's a bit of a spinner, but...
James Rew off in again. I think he just needs to calm down a little bit. He doesn't need to force anything, doesn't need to rush.
But do they, right? So here's the theory. What if, you know, they're 275 for 4. Okay, a few batters have got in and then got out. But they have they sat there and go, right, this is how we want to play.
Yeah.
And we're going to back you and say no one's going to criticise you. I'm sure they would externally. But internally, you were all going to go out with this strategy. It's Roof plays down the wrong line there, actually. It is moving a bit, though.
It is a little bit, but not massively so. I mean,
but you only want a little bit, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Reverse swing, as they would have said 10, 15 years ago. It all been about the reverse swing.
Great Wi-Fi.
Maiden first-class century for Ben Charlesworth, by the way. For Gloucestershire.
Yeah, Ben Charlesworth, brother of Luke Charlesworth, the all-rounder
yeah.
for Exeter University, played here in the pre-season game. Ben Charlesworth, the left-handed top-order bat. Luke's the right-hand bowler and bats down the order. That's normally James Rew in behind it. Solid.
Oh, for those of you just joining us this afternoon, there is the Somerset batting card. Tom Banton and James Rew going along very pleasantly in the middle order, although that card doesn't quite tell the story. Banton perhaps should have fallen to Grant Stewart's previous over. Zach Crawley dropped him at gully and then he nicked one through the vacant second slip. But Matt Renshaw, he was batting well, went for 40, scoring quite quickly. Those strike rates, apart from Sean Dixon, everyone has got in and looked pretty decent now. Andy Amid looked $1 million for his 25. It's been hard work for Kent's bowlers. Grant Stewart has been the pick of them as Tom Banton takes a step down toward him with a backing point, so will just be a single. Two young Somerset wicketkeeper batters having a great old time of it out there. You're still on those stats, aren't you?
Oh, the erratic Street Club stats page is an absolute wonder there.
Is it new then? You just discovered
No, it's been around for a while, but I only played my first game from this week. So seeing Annie here and then being updated a couple of days later.
You got a game tonight? Usually you're off somewhere for a T20.
No,
Someone will give you a text.
No, more having to work these days, more coaching in the evenings than playing, sadly. Smothered. Just smothered that.
So what time's you coaching? What time are you on?
Well, they sort of, a lot of them do listen to the live stream, so they know I'm here, so they expect me a bit late to be up here commentating, but yes, pull from pillar to post this time of year in the summer. Coaching wanted all over the place.
There is the great man, potentially with someone wearing an Old England ODI shirt.
Yes,
him, actually,
Vodafone.
It's the shirt Trez would have worn. We're upstairs in that Marcus Stoffick pavilion. That picture made up of hundreds of pictures of members, is it?
Yeah,
that
you
collage?
can buy a brick or a name, isn't it?
Probably too late now because it's already made, but yeah, we're up here on top of the pavilion. Perfect vantage point. Down the leg side, Rue just takes a step back there. It's a good take from Finch. I don't think he was ever going to get up and throw back at the stump, but you can see how far Rue is batting outside his crease because of the huge stride he had to make after that ball passed the bat.
I'm actually back here next Wednesday and Thursday. I'm back in the Somerset office in the media team, the Marcoms team.
Oh yeah, you
So
do
if
it
you're a
calling?
member- yeah,
cold
but-
calling people.
Yeah, and if members might want to get a... I thought it was going to be half-season membership, but they reckon it's actually going to be T20 deals.
Just a single down to square leg. Well, people have to be quick for those because they're starting to sell out, aren't they? The
Yeah,
Essex
so
game's sold out, isn't it?
The Western Storm double header.
That's going
Essex,
to be
yes.
beautiful, yeah.
Friday the 31st in the diary.
There it is.
There it
There
is.
it is.
Look at him.
So
No
efficient,
messing
aren't they,
around.
in the back office? Double header, Western Storm versus Sunrise. Could well be Somerset next year. Brilliant news. The outcome of Project Darwin, and then Somerset versus Essex, a replay of last year's thrilling final, which I watched with Harry Everett actually. As Banton opens the face, I think he's just going to get the one. Yeah, good decision not to come back for the second. And we got about 100 tickets left, maybe even fewer, so you're going to have to act very quickly. I think
You're
that's
doing
a
my job
ticket.
for me for
I
next
know,
Wednesday.
well, I'm pitching, you know, I'm just pitching for
Well,
it.
yeah.
My aim is to sell all the tickets before you get
Before I
into
get
the
my day's
office.
work.
So you're redundant. So ticket and takeaway packages still available. Get onto the Somerset County Cricket Club website for those. You might even get to see Harry Everett as well, as James Drew's in behind that. So I was watching the final with you, and I was sat next to you. And then I lost you. The moment Tom Kohler-Cadmore held on to that catch, you were about 6 or 7 rows down.
That's quick, well, no, it's
Yeah,
the quickest I've sprinted in a
You were
long few
rapid.
years.
I was worried about your hamstrings, the way you leapt. We had we had Dan Cooper in front of us and a few of the other Somerset staff. We were in
Yeah.
there. Polly's husband David was around there.
Lewis
I think
Gregory's grandma.
Lewis Gregory's grandma was talking to us. She recognised us as well, didn't she?
Yes.
She turned her. That was
Recognised us from
lovely
the stream,
moment.
yeah.
So, oh, you guys from the stream? She was there with
It
her
wasn't a West
husband.
Country accent. No, she's got a Crete or isn't she
No,
in Greece?
I think she lives out there, but I think
Yeah.
she's Devonian.
A little bit. Oh, yeah. Just shivery. That's all I remember. She was so cold.
It
in
did
Edge
get,
Pack of the
did get
evening.
nippy, didn't it? Oh, what a day that was. I think
Yeah,
Andy
that's-
Harry's partner was there. The
That's that-
Abels were behind
yes.
us.
I think that's the fastest I've run since Year 6 Sanford Pepperell Primary School Sports Day.
I had. Problem was I was working, and it was Saturday night. Paper deadlines are quite early because it's a big edition on the Sunday. So they really wanted the copy before the game had actually
Can't have it.
finished. You can't have it. Not when it's
until
that
that moment.
close.
Tough luck.
So I'd written.
I hope you said tough luck. I'm waiting until it finishes.
Well, I was there. Well, I'd written. I was kind of writing an introduction as if Somerset were going to win. I'd forgotten about the fact that it was so close, and you forgot about that. Oh, edged, and that's gone over. Slip.
Another one. Zach Crawley wasn't going to get near that one. Lucky too. Good arm.
I'd like to see that one again because it's amazing.
It's
It
gone in
was an
front
outside
of
edge,
that,
but
isn't
it just kind of looped up, didn't it? So I'd like
Looped
to see
up
what
and
it
went
hit.
quite square. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
normally see an outside edge that far in front of square.
It didn't have any sort of pace on it.
It
so
was
I'm
more.
just-
To be honest, you're not going to have that as ever out because you're not going to have a silly point that goes over the head, a normal point it doesn't carry, and it was on that point line. So actually, if it's deliberate, it's always a safe shot. But Tom Banton,
Was it deliberate?
definitely not. Definitely not. Lovely shot for probably no run. Good fielding, Daniel Bell-Drummond. Superb fielding, one-handed diving along. That makes up for a couple of fumbles from his teammates early on.
I can't wait to watch him bat. Bell Drummond. Let's have another look at that one here. It's Gilchrist into Banton. And then Bell
Lovely.
Drummond.
Lovely touch.
Getting that right hand down. You can rely on your skipper, can't you?
Yeah, well, do you remember how many overs he bowled in that September game? The seam bowler, Daniel Bell-Drummond, reining back the years. Someone had to try and stop TKC. Goldsworthy and Lamley both getting hundreds as well.
He's a lovely, lovely man, Daniel Bell Drummond. He's had a brilliant career. It may well never go into an England spot, although he's only, what, 30? But past 15,000 career runs in professional cricket. Only Denley scored more in T20. Like, he's a one-day white ball player. He's got a double 100, I think, from the Lions that game. Did Duckett get more at the other end?
Yeah.
They put on about 400.
Good single, good rotation on the strike from these two wicketkeepers. I want to see Joe Denley have a bowl. I know it's early in the evening session, but I love watching leg spin. There's no Jack Leaning's offies. There's no Hamdullah Quadri. And there he is,
Is-
Joe Denley, jogging.
is
Is
he
he
getting
warming
warm
up?
for
Is he
bowling?
listening to me? He's getting warm to do some keepy uppies, and he loves his bit of football.
He's just that calf.
Where
just
is he?
Getting a little massage. He's down in front
Deep
of the
square, yeah.
Yeah.
So why is he at deep square? You wouldn't have thought he's one of the
Well,
quickest or most
Deep
athletic
cover now,
anymore.
isn't he? Because it's left-hander, but
Yeah. I think that's a slightly odd position. I thought he'd be. Well, maybe he doesn't want to be in the slips. James Drew's looking a little bit agitated, a little bit frustrated here, dare I say. Keeps trying to drive, and it's not quite there. Jofra Archer watch. What, 20 past 4? His first day in second team cricket in a little while. Has he bowled anymore? Nope, he's still 1 for 11 off 6. 2 wickets for Archie Lenham. Kent require 48 runs in their last partnership, so I don't think Jofra Archer's going to bowl again. Unless these last 2 hang in there. Arafat Bhuiyan got a duck. Jazz Singh is 15 not out. Both of them have played Kent Championship cricket relatively recently. Arafat whacked Kemar Roach out of the oval a couple of times. I really enjoyed that innings.
he was one of the early graduates from the Saka Academy, wasn't he, with Andy Hamid? He was the first one to get a contract. Arafat followed quite soon after. Signed and made his debut like that day, didn't he?
Him and Jazz Singh played in that September game, didn't they, against Somerset? Relatively unheard of back then, last September. When, as I said before, Lammonby, Goldsworthy both got hundreds and TKC went mental.
Well, I suspect the whole plan was that Archer would only bowl 6, and he's only
I thought he
getting
might
fit for
bowl 10,
T20.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
but there's no. They're not
no
asking
need.
him to play any red ball cricket at all this summer.
I wonder
are
if
they?
he's fielded
Uh,
the rest of the time. So he literally bowled his, stayed on the field for 12 overs and
I
gone
don't,
off.
I don't know, but maybe he's done 20. Maybe he did 20 to try and replicate a T20.
For
I know it's
T20
not
World
quite the
Cup.
same, but to be at least out on your feet.
Yeah.
Because it's a different kind of fitness, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. But I don't think you can wrap everyone up in cotton wool all the time. I think sometimes you just got to get cricket fit. It's different playing in matches and bowling the nets. So you just got to get out there and play a bit. Tom Hampton triggering, wasn't he? Shimmying across forward. He's going to get 2 through deep square. Getting outside the line of off stump and whipping it to the leg side. New ball, of course, is only 10.4 overs away. Ed Barnard in the runs for Warwickshire again. Big fan of him from Worcestershire, now at Warwickshire.
Turned up last week, didn't he? At the
Yeah, he's a class act. I remember watching him for the England Lions at Grace Road a few years ago against the West Indies A and India A. He's a quick bowler then, more than he batting, whereas now I'd say he's more of a batting all-rounder. You'd probably call him a genuine all-rounder, really. But I don't think he's as near to England squad as he was a couple of years ago, even though he does consistently score runs and take wickets in county cricket.
we talked about all the men's scores. We've omitted the fact that the Charlotte Edwards Cup has actually got underway. First game today. Banton picks up a single. Central Sparks taking on the Northern Diamonds up in Leeds. Central Sparks 244 for free. Chloe Brewer 94 from just 43 balls, 8 sixes. I mean, that it's one of those totals that is always going to be, you have to go hard at earlier.
Is that Katie George, 32 not out? I remember interviewing her when I was about 19, 20, a good few years ago now. The ECB sent me down to Loughborough in my little Vauxhall Corsa. Drove down as a uni student and interviewed Tammy Beaumont, Katie George and Sarah Taylor. It's a cracking little afternoon,
Yeah, that
actually.
sounds cracking. That's one of the greats of the game there as well.
Yeah, Alice Davison Richards was just coming in.
Oh yeah.
So her and Katie George were the two up-and-coming youngsters. Sarah Taylor was still playing. Tammy Beaumont was fairly established then. We're talking back, I don't know, 2018, something like that. And yeah, really good to chat to. The girls chatted well and had a good laugh. Lots of interesting conversations. Based out of Loughborough. Really good facilities down there.
Still a few hardy souls out in the flat. Sun's gone away. It's clouded
Hardy
over a
souls.
bit.
It's not cold, Sam. We're not
Well, I
dying.
suppose, but yeah.
It's still t-shirt and shorts, whatever. It's just only 15 degrees outside the sun.
Just so used to it being nippy this summer so far. It feels like summer is actually here now.
They're just trying to channel their frustration here, Somerset. James and Tom Banton want to keep getting on with it, but a few are getting stuck in the pitch, not quite coming on as nicely as they want to. Jerry Everson's loosening up. He bowled well enough before tea, without reward. He's not for 29 of 8.4. He's got those weird figures because George Garrett went off after 10.2, tried to run in and couldn't and went off injured. A groin injury, yet to be confirmed, but didn't look awful. He walked off without a hobble. Looks like we're going to see Finch grabbing his helmet. Is it going to be Denley? He's going to stand up. I'd love to see Joe Denley whip out his leg spin twirlers.
Twirlers.
Joe Denley's been batting a bit lower for Kent this year. He's been batting more like 5, 6, whereas previous years he has batted 3. For England, he batted 3 a lot.
He stepped away a little bit last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Took some time out of the game. Good to see.
Get off me, says Tom Banton. Just bounced a little bit, just rode up on him. Joe Denley's first class bowling. Well, he's got 2 test wickets. First class is 83 wickets, best of 4 for 36. Both of Denley's test wickets were in the same game, 2 for 42. I just like the axis of Beau Drummond and Denley.
Oh, nice word, the axis. There's the lid. Going to be on very shortly.
Kept out. Yorker. There's been an early breakthrough for Surrey.
Yeah, of course there has.
Roderick's gone. Big 100 he scored, didn't he? A couple hundreds. Kidderminster against Somerset. Did well. Cashy Valley's into the wicket. They want a player at number 3. Worcestershire found another
It's
man.
another
from Saka.
brilliant story.
Yeah.
A really brilliant story.
I love his bowling as well, talking of leggies. You want to get the ball there, Marcus O'Riordan, before you're too busy appealing.
That looked a better shout than
They gave it credit for. I think it's
still probably not. Well, certainly height-wise, it's better than the couple they shouted for before.
We'll try and get you a better angled replay here. Here we go. Going down and a bit high, I'd say.
Yeah, other than that, good shout. 4 for last year for Joe Denley against Northamptonshire. 4 for 164. That 4 wicket haul, the best though you were talking about was came against Derbyshire back in 2018. He was probably bowling a fair bit of that somewhere actually. Or just before he got into the England side, was it? Or was it about the time he got into the England side? And he was trying to use that kind of second string.
Didn't he get Graham Smith with his first ball in international cricket? Might have been Test cricket.
I'll find out for you. You keep commentating, I'll just delve into the Joe Denley archive. It'd be my pleasure to be your researcher, Harry.
Yeah, it might have been white ball, but we're going to see the helmet come out.
Because we talking about, did he play years and years ago, didn't he? A couple of
Yes.
white ball games before he came back. And so he debuted in the Test in 2019. So that summer before he was taking wickets, and that's what got him into the side almost as an all-rounder.
Yeah, back before that.
Yeah.
And he didn't play for like 8 or 9 years. He didn't play and then suddenly come back again.
So he played a flurry of them in 2009. I don't think he got Graham Smith though, because he only played against South Africa once and he didn't get him. He played against Australia.
Good luck.
Unless it was a T20, I'll have a look in a second.
Interesting. We're going to see the off spin of O'Riordan back into the attack. Deep long on, deep long off, deep square and deep mid wicket. Pretty defensive field. Banton, O'Riordan's very keen trying to get to that.
Now, Harry, you're still in with a shout here. I think he did take a T20 wicket in the 2009-10 season, and I've gone to his T20 games.
Yeah.
So we see the way that Somerset forced Kent really into that.
Oh, lovely
field.
shot, Tom Banton. Only just beat the short extra cover fielder and he smashed it for 4. O'Riordan can't do a lot about that. All the men back on the boundary. Deep cover I didn't even mention. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men back. Like the middle overs of an ODI here. And even Beau Drummond's going to come out of slip now. Maybe just to chat to his bowler, but thrash through the covers for 4.
Yeah, you can spread the field as much as you like. If you're going to smash it just to the left of a fielder and there's no one behind him. Sadly, no, didn't get him in that game. Luke Wright did. Unless it was, I will. Second game. There it is. Harry Everett, I forgive you. I forgive you for not knowing about the Hong Kong Sixes because you have managed to pull out the fact that Joe Denley's first international wicket back in 2009 was Graham Smith.
There you go. That's more important than Hong Kong Sixes, isn't it? Proper cricket.
It's not more important than Hong Kong Sixes, no.
6 over cricket is more important than 2020 overs, I thought. Banton back this time, smashed that to cover for 1 run. So there you go. How many did he get? 88?
Very good, yeah. Yeah, he got 88 off 44 at the...
His first ball. They should have bowled him earlier. Only 1 over. They've left him far too late to bring him into attack. Who's the captain there?
Who's the skipper of that side? Sir Asa Cook, the T20 skipper back in those days, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it was.
Bit of Saj Mahmood as well, former Somerset bowler.
Yeah.
Saj Mahmood. Adil Rashid was playing all the way back then. He's had a long career, hasn't he, Adil Rashid? Kevin Peterson, who was the 3rd spinner that day. Joe Denley.
We should clarify, Saj Mahmood on loan here.
Well,
Yeah.
do we need to clarify?
Well,
What did I say? Former Somerset player?
Yeah, you're accurate. I'm not
Right.
saying. Not clarification has been incorrect. Oh, paddle sweep from James Rew. Going to be 2. Good wheel from deep square leg running round. Just playing the field here, really. Rew and Banton got so much time.
They do look in like brilliant touch, don't they? Somerset nearly at that 2nd batting bonus point as well.
Yeah, 292 for 4 now. 8 away.
Quick question: when did we last see Swanepoel bowl? Been a while, hasn't it?
Yes.
Given they're
good
down
point.
a seamer,
Very good point.
was it just after lunch he opened up from this end, the Marcus Roscoff end?
He still bowled 13, but that's not as many as Stewart or Gilchrist.
But given Garrett's gone off injured.
I still think you go spin now. Maybe save Swanepoel for one last birch.
So they're waiting for the new ball.
Yeah, I'd say. It's only 8 overs away, isn't it? 72 to 80 overs is just part-time leg spin territory, isn't it? It's a perfect time.
But yes and no. But you've got to keep getting wickets because if you bowl 8 overs at these two, and you suddenly concede another 50 runs, you can't be. I get why you might save Swanepoel for the new ball, but I don't think you can go into the territory of just like the mentality of waiting for the second new ball seems a bit odd.
Yeah, agreed.
Because that's 10% of the time.
Which is why I think Everson's the right option here. I think you go Everson and then O'Riordan, or you might now go Denley instead of O'Riordan. You might try Everson for 2 or 3, then go Denley. I don't think we're going to see Stewart, Swanepoel or Gilchrist now until the 80th over. What's Everson going to do? He's not going to reverse with thought. He just bowls and nagging line and legs and frustrate them.
They're in desperate need of a wicket here, Ken. There he is. There's Swanee.
I don't think we can call him Swanee, can we?
Can't we? Why not?
I know he's got a floppy hat on.
Why can't we call him Swanee? I mean,
Well, I haven't asked him personally. You might
but
know.
of all the nicknames, it's
I'll
not,
bet
it's
he
not,
hasn't
it's
called
not a
Swanee.
massive jump, is it?
No, no.
Getting ready for that second new ball on Swanee.
Just everything screams Dane Patson to me.
Yeah.
Watching him bowl.
Same number as well.
South Africa.
I think Dane Paterson's number 2 as well, isn't he?
That's good knowledge.
Oh, is he or is he 8? He's a single-digit number, I'm pretty
Shirt
sure.
number or squad number? Oh, another misfield. Gilchrist this time. Extra cover.
Well,
Got to be stopping them. I know he's a big man, but you got to be stopping them.
what's the difference?
Sometimes they have what's different on the scorecards than to the back of their shirt.
Shouldn't be unless it's just 1 to 11. Be a bit weird to.
If you look at, maybe it's more of a white ball T20 thing, but I'm sure we used to have confusion with different numbers.
If they use 1 to 11 on the score, it'd be a bit weird if you had a number for the scorecard.
Yeah. I mean, it's not long. We've had white shirts with numbers on the back as Rue's going to push 2 in front of square here. It's not going to go.
Do you reckon? Must be.
I reckon it's less than 10 years since numbers come in obligatory on the back of white shirts, isn't it?
And white shirts, yeah.
Red Bull, first class cricket. When I asked the commentary, when do you reckon Test cricket made numbers on the back of shirts obligatory? I reckon in the last 10.
Intrigued. When did you first have a number on the back of your white shirt, do you reckon, broadly? Certainly not when you started. About the old Boundary Sports Somerset shirt. They were great, those Boundary Sports shirts.
It's an interesting reference here, Sam. I'm not sure where this is going. Who are the 2 guys playing Waldorf and Statler in the commentary box.
I've got a Mike Burns, Rowan Dartington, Somerset.
Oh, that's niche.
White ball shirt. A red white shirt. 0506.
There you go, last 20 years. In county cricket, yeah, test cricket a bit later. Yeah. I seem to remember Australia being one of the early ones to get numbers on the back.
Are you now Googling who these people are? Or are you Googling
No,
shirts?
numbers first using test cricket tops on
Who have we been compared to? Shouldn't read it out. We don't know if it's a compliment yet.
No. Should have vetoed it a few times. James Drew aerial. That's 4 runs. Never quite given a chance for your mate Swanee. Swan and Paul at mid-off couldn't quite get across. But slightly risky. Could Everson have got it? No, I don't think so. He's hit it quite hard. But
well, Statler and Waldorf are Muppets characters, so I don't think it is a.
I don't mind being called a Muppet.
Compliment.
I've been called worse.
I mean, I'm not sure it's meant to be a compliment.
I like that. No, I've got a lot of time for that.
So maybe, yeah. I mean, similar hairlines they've got.
Yeah, I don't mind
to you and I.
that. They look a bit Italian. Can they qualify?
Just another tangent for us to go off. I don't mind.
O'Reilly in the off spin is going to continue with Daniel Bull Drummond. What's he doing? He's going to go to like a 45 on the leg side. On the 1. Still 5 men back for Tom London. Friend of Somerset, George Bartlett, 63 run. Great to see. Somerset bring up that next batting bonus point with 300. Second batting bonus point.
We're not, I don't think we're quite too young for them. I remember the Muppets.
I'm aware of them. I just wouldn't know who they. Just, as a kid, I didn't really watch children's TV shows.
Too busy watching IPL highlights or something, weren't you?
Yeah, Dravid and Rahane. What's Tom and Jerry?
Is that turned a bit? He was reaching outside off stump there.
I think because he's played this log sweep, it's probably looked like it's turned more than it has, but it's turned a little bit. Lovely.
Death. The previous shot, Gentry was trying to hit it over into that Trade Nation stand 6, and it's an audition for the T20 side. And that one he's just waited for. Let's see that side on. Played it so late. As Nathan Gilchrist at short third just has to chase it.
How much is that in their heads this time of the year when it's the last Champo game on a fairly flat pitch against a relatively weak attack with the T20 coming up, trying to get in a team that won it last year? It's got to be a tiny bit in his mind.
All left alone.
Lammonby too. You know, Lammonby and Rue would get into most other blast teams in the country.
Is Amid ahead of Rue at the moment? But I think he probably is for T20.
That's a tricky one.
There's the reverse sweep, and it's a bump ball. So Daniel Bell Drummond does very well at first slip.
Where do you field Amid in a T20? I'm not saying it's a bad fielder.
Where do you field Rue?
I think Rue would take the more Banton and stay the gloves.
I don't think you change. You don't change it. Take the gloves off Banton.
I don't think Banton's bothered about keeping it. I think he'd happily let Rue keep if they're both playing.
Turned in to the leg side. Yes and no, but I mean, you don't want to change it. He knows that the T20 side.
Don't you?
Yeah, but and also, you know, Tom Banton will have aspirations of playing for England again as a keeper batter. So
he said
I don't
before
think
that,
he. Yeah, I know. Perhaps not in Championship cricket, but in white ball cricket.
Yeah, for me, Amid is a very good 50-over player. He'd probably be a decent 40-over opening bat, but I think there's a bigger difference than you realise between 50 and 40 overs to 20 overs. I would rather he doesn't play T20, to be honest, whereas I think Rue is still young enough. He's got the reverse sweeps and the sweeps. I mean, and he just whacks it down the ground, doesn't he?
But Amid's never played a T20, so we don't know.
No, yeah, I'm not.
I mean, not for Somerset, but I mean in his career, he's never played a professional T20.
My worry is Will Smead, having not played, he's not got big runs to Bridgewater, not played that much cricket.
Deft touch again.
So just guided with 1 point from single, not quite 2. You know, how does he find that coming back into T20 Blast side, having not played that much professional cricket the last year or so, not played as many franchises as he did before, so does Amid go for that spot? You know, Dixon batted 5. I think he batted well at 5. You know, got us through finals day.
Does Amid go for Will Smeed's spot?
Yeah, I think that's more like. I don't think you put Amid at 5.
Is.
I think Lammonby or Dixon or Roux could bat at 5. I wouldn't have Amid at 5 in a T20.
I don't know about that.
I think Amid, if he's going to play T20, Amid has to open.
I don't think that's right, actually. I think I'd rather see him. I know it's all hypothetical. I think I'd rather see him bat at 5 in a T20 than in a championship game. I'd rather see him open in a championship.
I'd rather he opens in all 3 formats. If he's going to play, you know, in any format, I think Amid is an opener. But I don't think he's going to be sprinting 2s at the end.
I don't think
he's more.
Spot. There's not an opening spot. No,
I think he's going to be whacking it straight in the power play, if anything. But you're just thinking if there's another injury, you know.
It's a nice problem to have, isn't it?
Oh,
people
amazing.
like
I was chatting.
Lammonby, Amid, Roux, Bashir, who wanted to play.
Well, Lammonby was one of the main men the year before. Remember that 90 against Gloucestershire when the Sky cameras were here?
Well, that was beautiful, wasn't it? Got 100 gig off the back of that. Jake Ball's come down. Might want to play a little bit.
Yeah, I was watching. Keep coming back to last night, watching the quarter-final replay.
Did you watch that? Did you?
I just think it's brilliant. I want to shout out to the Somerset media team. Replays and underrated. It's quite an easy thing to do, but just it's brilliant for the fans to be able to enjoy a night like that. And sorry, Ben Warren's whispered in my ear. It's not that easy. I thought it was easy. Just whack out a replay. But Facebook Live and YouTube. It's great to be able to relive some of the amazing games of recent years. But it's weird seeing Jake Ball in a not shirt. I mean, jeez, he's going to talk about Somerset knots, but
Sharp.
whippage from James Root. It's going to go for 4. It's not going to race away. It's just going to trickle into the rope, but he's got that. It's a little leg stump. He's probably said it's a half volley, but he's whipped it over the fielder. And James Root is on to 81 off 105 balls. 307 for 4. That goes on to 311 for 4. Slip and a galley. Still in place.
Down the pitch again. Defensive from James Root. Playing that from about 17, 18 yards. Reardon from around the wicket to Banton. He waits and he hits that through the covers for 4. I think he's going to move into the 90s with that stroke. Tom Banton. This has been an exhibition from Tom Banton so far. .92. This partnership now 143 of 208 balls. And the back-to-back boundary from Tom Banton moves to 96. This has been quite superb from Tom Banton. 4 away now from a century. As Reardon comes back over the wicket. Just getting the field right. Pushes it back to the bowler, remains on 96. Just got that one first class 100 so far. Tom Banton pushed into the offside. They'll come through for a single. Absolutely fine. 97 he moves on to now. James Root. They were neck and neck, just a couple of balls away.
Yeah, he's changed it quickly, that over, isn't it? So James Root back on the strike. He's 85 not out. Getting a bit carried away in the commentary box about these two potential hundreds coming up. It's only a milestone, it's only a number, but it seems to matter so much. Cricket's like no other sport where, I suppose 147 in snooker means a lot more than 146, I suppose. But
I don't think you can get 146 though, can you?
oh, I haven't worked out the maths, I haven't worked out my blacks and
Do you have
reds.
to be on 140? Well, you have to be on 140.
That all depends on your reds and blacks.
146.
You get 146 fouls.
Can you? Okay,
You
yeah.
can get points for
okay.
fouls at
Yeah,
any
yeah.
point as well.
Well, points for fouls, yeah.
Yeah, Sam, ridiculous shout from you.
Oh yeah, that's true, the golden ball. So you'd have to do what? 14
I
red,
don't
black
really care how
combos
you
and
do it,
one
but I reckon you could. Anyway, James Root and Tom Banton are batting magnificently. Tom Banton has got the strike again. He did most of the damage in that last over. He's now 97 now. He got the 100 at Chelmsford, didn't he?
Yeah, keeper up to the stumps, Joey Everson. He came in as a sub for that game for James Root as well, wasn't it? He came in to keep. Now they're out there together. Banton waits. Everson is in. Banton turns out into the leg side and moves on to 98.
We're playing Sam's in the Tom Banton camp. I'm in the James Root camp here. We're not quite sure how we worked this out and how we've organised it, but we thought, nice little touch. Shout out to Pete Triggs, who said, very polite of him, said, leave us two to...
He said, you two Muppets, stay on for the hundreds, I think.
We shouldn't assume, though, should we? We really shouldn't assume. It's not done yet. Yeah, I did make way earlier, and the first ball I made way for, Pete Trigo got Matt Renshaw out, so entirely responsible. Deep square, deep fine leg in place for James Root. There's a big, big gap at mid-wicket. Daniel Bell-Drummond is in acres of space on his own. Lovely back foot punch for one run. James Root, more sedate, he's not going to rush. I think you might get your Tom Banton moment before James Root.
Little milestone there, $150
Yes.
between those 10 balls.
And the knowledgeable fans are already clapping it before Spencer's on the PA announcer. Is it Spencer then?
Spencer, it's Rob
Rob.
Snowden, isn't
Rob's
he?
back, is he? I thought Rob's on a few days off. He's back on.
Spencer's next door.
Spencer's normally doing about 4 things at
Live
once.
blogging, Spencer Bishop.
Yes.
Got some footage of him live blogging earlier, actually.
You and your newfound camera phone is dangerous now.
Banton on strike, he's on 99. Turns it straight to Compton for no run, remains on 99. Dropped by Zach Crawley, remember, off Grant Stewart when he was on 66. Put down at gully, nicked one through, second slip, a couple of balls later. It's already cost 32 runs. And that drop, Crawley also cost him 68 with his drop of Lammonby when he was on just one. He's got his own personal century up. Tom Banton takes a quick single to Daniel Bell-Drummond. He's going to get home quite safely. Tom Banton, that is a absolutely magnificent 100.
99.
Oh, is it?
Sam Dallin. Sam Dallin, you've had a shocker there. We've got to call that out.
I thought we said he was on 99.
Oh, I don't think so. He's not raised his bat. Oh, that's going to be in the commentary. End of season 2, bloopers, highlights reel. I am buzzing for that moment.
No, clip that
Sam
up.
Dallin has gone
Clip that
wild
up
for
and
Tom
use it.
Banton's 99.
Oh.
It's a great 99 though. It's James Root on 86. Pull shot, top edge. It's not going to carry to the man in the back. We are trying to be neutral here, but there's only a certain amount of special moments you get on home commentary broadcast.
I hope he doesn't.
Commentate on a first class 100
Jeez, I hope we haven't jinxed
or
it all.
99.
It's a brilliant 99 from Tom Banton.
I mean,
I wonder why there was not a
it's
cheer.
only one more run, but Sam.
I went early.
That's the best comment of the day. FSM as a dog. Sack Statler. That must be the Muppet chat. Oh, brilliant.
I'm definitely getting that on my end of day video.
Well,
You could have stopped me.
just to help you out. Oh, no,
You're enjoying it too much.
Tom Banton is now on 99. Go for it, Sam.
Oh no, I don't dare. He is on 99. He's still on 99. I think I need a break. I need cricket and football to stop.
Somerset's cash drinks local rights to thank our principal partners for the
End of the over.
tour season. Cooper
324 for 4.
WPA Health Insurance, Trade Mate,
There we go.
This might help you, Sam. If
I
you had a
need
couple of
some
them,
this.
it might sort you out, mightn't it?
Oh, my word. Beer and Cider
A
Festival.
few different flavours knocking around. 100 plus.
Metro Bank One Day Cup action. I've just about got used to not calling it the Royal London One Day Cup.
Oh, Marcus O'Riordan's off spin into James Root, straight to extra cover. James Root looks more nervous than Tom Banton, I must say. Tom Banton was saying was very calm. It's all about stature. You can see the confidence zooms out of Tom Banton. Lovely paddle sweep with James Root. They're going to push two. It's going to come to two. It is, yeah. I mean, just down the left side.
It's almost the diagonal boundary. The one at Trent Bridge is the most diagonal boundary I've ever seen. I don't know what the stand's called there. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
To the right of the dressing room, so you're looking at it.
James Root punching that into the covers for one. Gloucestershire have 300 for none. Phenomenal opening partnership from Bancroft and Charlesworth. 395 is the record first wicket partnership. First class cricket for them. Well, good job. Ben Green will be glad that he left Leicestershire in time. Wouldn't be bowling against that partnership. Mind you, he was about the 7th choice bowler, wasn't he? It was a bit harsh in the games. Batting him at 9.
Back for the T20s. Yeah, what a performer he was last year as well. Right, Banton's on 99. And now he's on 100. That is a magnificent shot to bring up the 100. Dances down the wicket, hits it straight past Marcus O'Riordan, holds his arms aloft, gets a hug from James Root. Second first class 100 from Banton. That's one came against Essex at Chelmsford. He was subbed in for James Root in that game. This time they're back together.
Serious knock, Tom Banton. The way he's used his feet to the off-spin and Marcus O'Riordan has been beautiful. Timing it through the covers, over mid-off, 6 over extra cover, just a smash down the ground. He wasn't going to hang around, he wasn't going to mess around. I always say if you're going to hit the ball in the air, the safest place is down the ground between mid-off and mid-on. Great innings.
He'd probably agree with you. 15 fours and 1 6 for Tom Banton in that 103. That cover area is being peppered.
Just give the strike back to James Root. These two just going to crack on here.
I'm very pleased he got his 100 multiple levels.
We've clapped him twice. Or
I've clapped him twice. I enjoyed his 99 as much as I enjoyed his 100, to be honest.
Well, he wasn't dropped on 1, was it?
You said it was just a number, so
it's just a number. There you go. So Banton, not in a rush here. Banton's just sorting out his.
Let's see that
kit.
shot to bring up the 100. Umpire at the striker's end, having to take cover. Arms out wide, Tom Banton. Fair play to him. He's worked so hard.
Someone's made us a meme. Simon Thurston has made a. Is that a meme? Is that what we call it? I'm not.
I think it is. I used to call them memes and got stick. I like that. Appreciate that, Simon.
Pete's got us to arguing. Don't want to argue about.
I call it bickering, I think.
Bickering, yeah. It's a more polite way of putting it. Well, James Edworth, Kenneth Rue is at the non-striker's end.
Is that his middle?
99. Yeah, he's a double-barrel middle namer.
I knew it was J.K. because I know that from the old cricket games you used to play. You just like remember people's initials.
Like Jar Warner,
Yeah.
MP.
Was.
What's
Doesn't it start with a W?
MP.
Jar Warner.
There's a W in there, isn't there? MPJW, MP.
I thought
MPD?
it was a W, wasn't it? Though.
I don't think there's a W start with. How do you Google these things?
Well, you just go to his Wikipedia page. DPM. Jar Warner. So who's the W? Vass is W.
Vass, yes.
WPA, WP.
Sangakar. Sri Lankans have particularly good names as Banton. Back on strike to Joey Everson.
As a youngster, I'd be able to reel these off from my days of playing.
What we're talking? Brian Lara 07, was it?
WPUJC is Chaminda Vass.
Okay. You could just make up some of them, couldn't you? 150 balls, 15 fours and 1 6. First ever Red Bull century here. That one at Chelmsford we talked about. Tom Banton in the books again. Unlucky Ben Compton just trying to stop that. Can they get two? Probably not. Joe Denley's quickly round. Short boundary on the leg side. Somerset, the 2 batting bonus points. The way they're going, can they get 4? I reckon they should probably comfortably be able to get 4 by the 110 overs. It might even push for 450. Should be enough time, you think, if these two keep going. I don't see them slowing down unless a wicket's taken.
Or was there an A in Chaminda Vass as well?
James Rue, pull shot. That's not far away from carrying to the man. Oh, just short of Nathan Gilchrist. There's such open space out there. It'd be pretty unlucky to carry to one of the two men back, but that was only 3 or 4 yards short of Gilchrist, who's 10 yards off the rope. Rue's just, what does he want, a drink? Gloves? Yeah, gloves. He's getting, you know, my batting sign language. He wants new gloves. God, I've learned all sorts today, haven't I? Muppets, Hong Kong sixes. Every day's a school day.
I don't think there is an A in Children's. Anyway, still there.
Still about that.
WP, UJC. Bantam's 106 now. Rue 91. Reckon Daniel Bell-Drummond's slightly regretting his 10:30 AM decision.
Yeah, I thought it was odd at lunchtime. I was thinking that it seemed a bit of an odd decision. The side they've got, I think, it's still May. I think I know you think, oh, May are going to bowl, it's early season, but it's still Taunton. You think of it as a smallish ground, decent batting deck. Well, both batters are going to get new gloves. We have a little delay here. Looks like Casey Aldridge is coming out with a jumper on. Sure he needs a jumper, but Bantam might go. No, they're not allowed to go helmetless, are they? ECB rules now. I think you have to wear a helmet even against spinners. No MS Dhoni, Jadeja style cap batting.
Gloves. Sorry.
There, we're just seeing a replay of Bantam's 100 feet.
Sorry,
Marking it down the ground.
We're
Over
seeing
mark
Tom
to
Bantam
Reading.
throwing his gloves off, aren't we?
We've got a screen next to us for the preview of what's. Yeah.
Just seeing Tom Bantam.
So many
change his
screens
gloves.
next to us, I don't know which one to look at. I presume the preview bit was about to come out. Anyway, output shows us Bantam's gloves.
I mean, I'm not going to mock you for any sort of mistake.
There we go.
So there it is.
I was watching the preview that was about to come out. I was just ahead of time.
Always one step ahead, H.
That's it. A ton for Tom Banton. 106 he's on now. And O'Riordan still bowling. Last over for the new ball, though, is a slight, not plot twist, but something to bear in mind here. Still no Denley. Actually, have we got a final result of the twos yet? Speaking of Denleys. It's not often that the twos play at the same time. Yeah, match complete. Sussex second 11 beat Kent second 11 by only 26 runs. That's quite a good little game in the end.
Field spread for Bantam then. Long on, long off. Deep square, deep mid. Deep cover. It goes over all of them and plonks it just in front of the column. Atkinson to William for 612. He has looked brilliant from the moment he walked out there. He's been out there just shy of 200 minutes. 158 balls he's faced. Goes again, this time it's on the floor. It's wide of the man at cover. Off is able to get around.
James Root back on strike, 91. I think Tom Bannish is going to try and hit for the Quantock Hills now. There's no positive body language from Kent. Really sad to see. They just look down and out of it already. It's only day one. Reverse sweep from James Root. Great shot. I mean, Gilchrist could have dived and stopped that, but now he's going to have to chase it, which is a lot harder work than before. Grant Stewart's helped him out from deep point. Lovely reverse sweep. Seemed a bit risky in the 90s. Remember he played in that county select 11, James Rue, that stumping of Pajara up at Durham, Chester Street, I believe. Got him on the radar of.
Was it like an ECB Select 11? Wasn't
Yeah, I
it?
quite enjoyed that. Seeing different names, almost like a Lions, but a younger, up and coming sort of.
Well, it was. But there were games going on, wasn't it? So it was people that weren't in their county championship
Yes.
sides as well. And this was COVID somewhere as well,
July
wasn't it?
21.
Yeah.
Come on, boys.
So that's before we'd made a Somerset debut.
Yes.
Come on, Raymond.
Yeah. Gonna see 5 men back on the rope still for Bantam. Can it be 4? Yes, it can. I thought Parkinson at point to stop that. That's okay. That was Matt Parkinson that Sorry, not. What am I doing wrong there?
Jaden Denley.
Sorry,
Joe
Joe
Denley.
Denley. Yeah, I keep saying that. I'm talking about leg spin.
Matt Parkinson's not bowled because he's not playing.
Yes, but Joe Denley's leg spin, I think, it's now a new ball, so he's not going to. If he's not going to bowl an 80 overs,
Do you think they might regret not playing Parkinson at this point?
Yeah, so I've mixed up 2 points just trying to make that. If they've not bowled Joe Denley in 80 overs, would they have bowled Matt Parkinson in 80 overs? Are they thinking it doesn't suit leg spin, or are they thinking Joe Denley's not good enough to bowl?
Does he bowl at the moment though, or is it something he's doing?
No, he's going to take the new ball now. Here he is, Swanee. Bayer's Swanepoel, South African overseas. He is going to take the new ball. Rue is on 94 not out. Will I be able to say not out in 6 runs time on his personal target? That is the idea. To only use 6 bowlers in 8 overs when you've been whacked around a bit, I just think is a bit of surprise. Even if it's Daniel Bell Drummond with his medium pace swingers, I thought Kent might be a bit flexible, trying something slightly different, just to upset the rhythm. I think it's been a bit going through the motions, a bit easy for Somerset. So James Rue has 6 first-class hundreds from 48 innings, 30 matches. Tom Banton, a few years his senior. Many hundreds, not played as much first-class cricket.
I think warm water actually gets in your system quicker.
Tom Banton. Just 56 innings in 35 matches. It's actually more innings, but that high score of 126. Will he go past that today? Could be only an over or 2 away, the way he's going. Lovely timing, the back foot punch there, immaculate. The sound of the bat is lovely.
Yeah, Somerset, 3 of them. Partnership continuing to build. 178 now. From just 234 balls. Two slips, wait. Second new ball, just a couple of balls old. Let's pokes it back. I tell you what, they've been very efficient with their overs today as well.
So the over rate's been decent actually. Yeah, they haven't messed around with the amount of seamers they've bowled as well.
Well, so I'm thinking 16 left. I know O'Riordan's bowled 12. But a fair bit of seamers with some decent run-ups as well, Gilchrist and Garrett. I know that the ECB are pushing teams a little bit more on over rates and things this year. It's a bit of a theme. Driven beautifully for Tom Banton. I think that will be 4 more. There's a fielder out there who's going to chase it, but it's going to be in vain. Once Stewart's cap comes off, ball crosses the rope. Banton moves to 121. Really freely for him now, even with that second new ball.
Kashi Valley is a rare failure against Surrey. Decent attack and 3 wickets with Dan Worrell, says he's bowling pretty well. He's out for 15, 45 for 3 Worcester. Oh, they didn't break that record. Ben Charlesworth out for 126. Louis Kimber got him. 316 for 1. What a maiden first-class century for Charlesworth to do it in that massive partnership with Bancroft, of all people, an experienced international test cricketer. 316. It's a lot of chasing willow. A lot of chasing leather, sorry.
Single clip. Banton, he's not chasing willow.
If you're chasing willow, then someone throwing their bat in anger, or I suppose you chase. Yeah.
End of the over, 3:55 about an hour left. I'll jump out shortly, Triggs will come back. Superstition. You can tell he's been professional cricketer for 2 decades. Doesn't want anything to change. Can't curse. Can't move seats. Probably shouldn't call their hundreds early. It's not great for the curse.
I couldn't sleep last night. I was reading Alex Stewart's autobiography.
Was that after you watched the...
Yes. A bit of the Wisden 2010. A bit of Badger practice for today. A bit of prep, bit of research. You don't realise that. Don't just work on the days. We do a lot of research, prep, reading nights before and days before. And Alex Stewart, some of the ridiculous stories of people not moving when he was batting. I love it. Over the ages, cricket doesn't change. Anyway, Tom Banton's got there. He's past his 100. And now he's playing some golf shots.
I'm not sure you can claim... I know you do a lot of reading and research. I'm not sure you can claim reading Alex Stewart's autobiography counts as research for Somerset versus Kent.
No, so my point was there. I read a chapter of that and then I went to Wisden 2010. I thought I'd see if Shield Berry was able to bat then. He was here last week, or 2 weeks ago for the Essex game. See if there'd be any random facts and stats on any Somerset players involved in this game. Not many of them were playing back then. Darren Stevens was one, of course. Not here today.
Uppish. Look how far Banton is out of his crease by the time he's playing these strokes. He's almost halfway down. You can almost see an area on the pitch from where we are up here that's a couple of yards outside the crease, which is where the batters have almost been batting from, playing a lot of these shots. Driven, uppish again, into a gap, whistled to the boundary. Tom Banton slamming the ball quite beautifully here. 126 he moves on to. Tell you what, at this rate I'll have time to atone and call a double 100 by close of play.
No, steady on. Steady on, Sam. Somerset only need to get 450 and then declare to keep the game moving. If the last bonus point's done, then
I don't think you declare though at that point. Not on the morning, not on day one. Probably just try and make them bat once, are you? Surely.
God, I can't remember Somerset ever scoring 450 in a day. It's not something I've ever considered, to be honest with you. It's not been something I've worried about, thought about, or...
It hasn't felt like a bowling day.
But it hasn't felt like a massively Somerset dominating day. It can't have been poor body language. It's not felt like Somerset all over them. It doesn't... I think this last hour could be where that potentially changes. The last half an hour when Banton's cut loose a bit. He's now on to his first class best.
Well, 116 for 3, you're thinking, okay, yeah, this could go either way. But 359 for 4, I think that's pretty much a Somerset day now.
Some of the Colin Grammar School staff I was sat talking with yesterday have text saying, is it a Somerset thing to celebrate 99 on comms? It's quite fun. Yeah, spend the time at school lunch chatting to the head teacher about Somerset cricket over the past 20 years.
Pulled in front square. Is he going to get 4? And not quite. Further out there, Joey Everson does really well. Keeps it to a couple.
Really good work. Yeah. Banton and Rue were level and we weren't sure who was going to do which one. I think you said Banton. He's now 30 runs clear. Laid back. Very nice.
Pushed to backward point, does the fielding for no run. Banton remains on 128. This is his first class best then, is it? Because he was on 126, was his previous, wasn't it, Chelmsford?
Yep.
It's been a good day for him. Grant Stewart has ended up on the floor. That effort ball bouncer that Tom Banton is rehearsing the shot, he was quite fancy putting that one in somewhere into the Somerset stand. End of the over, 361 for Banton, 128, Rue 95.
Just going to use a little gap and play to give a shout out to Bridgetown CC, who are planning to have a pretty special year this year. It's a centenary season. Yeah, cracking ground, Bridgetown, the one with the bridge over. You can't drive anywhere near the ground. You have to carry your bags over the bridge over the river. I played there in September last year. Bridgetown against Winsford, and we all was roasting hot and dipped in the river.
There you are, H. You can push a few of those, can't you, when you're in the office next week?
Yeah, I'll be ringing people, make sure they get their half-season membership. So. But no, Somerset have been great enough. Somerset are going to host a big Saturday evening event on July the 13th for myself and Vic. As Rue goes chasing one outside the off stump. But yeah, I've been asked to MC, and the Saturday evening after playing, I think Vic's going to be talking.
Oh, beautiful.
It's nice when clubs from the Somerset area come to the ground and get a special event in the long room, Carnaxon Pavilion. And that's July the 13th. To have a look on Bridgetown CC.
You playing in the game?
No, so I'll be playing my normal league game for Wimbledon and then leg it back here afterwards.
You never just have one event on, do you, in the day?
Yeah, great these events that people do for these things. Andrew pulling again into the leg side. It's probably just going to be one. Can they push two? Yeah, he fancies it. Long way to throw. Good running, James Root. Good athlete.
Sun's back out here. Beautiful evening.
Full and good bit of fielding there from Swanepoel. A bit of saving his face, really. Banton's dived back in his ground. Lots happened that ball. Cracking straight drive. Stop off the face from Swanepoel, and Banton's tried to not be run out of the non-striker's end. He was well back in. He's nearly clattered his own stumps at the non-striker's end. James Rew got that 2-2-1 last year against Hampshire. He's looking a little bit nervy on 97 here.
He's batting with Bashir, wasn't he? That was great fun to watch that.
Yeah.
Bashir
Bashir batted a little bit better then than he did when Craig Overton wanted 100 more recently. So probably that's got to be an award at the end of the season for the worst shot of the season. Miggy Pretorius at the Oval in the same month.
Yes.
Was the worst I'd seen in a Somerset shirt, and then Bashir did even worse based on the scenario.
Thought Banton called it a brain. We would have a brain fade.
A brain fade, yeah.
That's very nice.
Lovely shot from James Rew. It's only going to be one. He went to 98. .364 for 4 off 83 overs. Only 13 remaining in the day. As you say, it's been a quick over 8 day. And talk through the next day or two, then I'll make way for Pete Trigo to take you through to close. But James Rew, 55 on his back. He's 98 not out.
Good score, 98. Next run's crucial.
Six first-class centuries. Can he get his 7th this over? Not that this over is particularly important, but if he faced a couple of balls, his eyes in, there's enough gaps in the field. James Rew through the leg side. Is it going to be 2? Is it going to be 4? Great bit of fielding by Joe Denley, and that is absolutely superb fielding. That's holding 3 runs to the side. Kept James Rew on 99. That's probably the best bit of footing we've seen all day, actually, because that went really quickly. Joe Denley moved well, scooped it up, palmed it off to his mate.
Well, you were asking earlier why Joe Denley's out at deep square leg. I suspect that is probably the answer. That was really good work. That was travelling as well.
We're getting more Muppets chat on Twitter. That was travelling, you're right. Middle of the bat, just flicked off the hip. Impeccable timing from James Reed.
You've only just over 2. Come on.
Shot
Bantam
from
with
Tom.
that.
That's pierced, gone through, back to the point.
Same
For another
place as the
boundary.
previous ball, wasn't it? Just a lot faster.
32, he moves on to absolutely motoring.
Getting a bit rowdy in the BBC commentary box, and here Anthony and Annie, the two neutral, unbiased Somerset commentators on BBC Radio, getting a bit rowdy next door. The next door this year, of course. Polly Rose has been turfed out of her box. The BBC have invaded. Polly's been banished to the far end of the ground. I'm aware we haven't read out many comments in recent time on the YouTube stream, but Bantam must have had a pink somewhere earlier. What are the snooker references? Brilliant comment from James Palmer. That's what Pete spent the last 45 minutes doing at the box, working out how to get exact scores, snooker. Now some sort of white ball and red ball cricket, relating that to snooker as well.
Just overstepping there.
I think that's the first one of the day, you know. I missed that. I can't remember. Yeah, there's been 4 leg buys. I can't remember there being any no balls. No, that's the first one of the day. I just had a message from Chris Root, James' dad. He's by the pavilion with the camera. He doesn't like to be with anyone. Get
partnership, I think that must
200
be.
partnership as well. Superb partnership from James Root, and he's whipped it through the leg side. James Root gets another first-class century for Somerset. His first of the season, 6 first-class centuries, which now becomes 7. He's batted beautifully. 376 before now. Somerset, 103 not out. Tom Banton, his wicket-keeping friend and colleague, has been there with him, the left-right hand. They've complemented each other beautifully. And that was aerial. I mean, it was a risky shot. That goes to a fielder who's absolutely fuming, but Chris Roux can stop marching around nervously now. Dad's probably got that on camera. And what a player James Roux is. He got that 2-2-1 against Hampshire. Those records he broke as a teenager last year. Great to see him back in the runs as a 20-year-old this summer.
Yeah, 12 fours, 2 sixes, 128 balls. Chanceless.
What do you mean by Chancellor, Sam? As he pulls that...
Has he been put down?
Yeah.
By who?
You don't watch when you're not commentating, do you? He got dropped. Pete and I, the easiest catch of the day.
Oh, on the
Ease and
boundary,
Crawley,
yeah,
square
the guy
leg.
who tipped it over.
Tipped it straight for 6. I was trying to not mention that. I was trying to big up James Roux and just talk about the positives. Yeah, right in front of the dugout.
I couldn't see that. That was in my blind spot.
Matt Renshaw's and Kay Sholger both got bats in the hand. What's that all about? Matt Renshaw's had his go for the day. Kay
Has he
Sholger's...
got a glove on?
Oh, Kay Sholger's got one for Banton. Maybe he's running out of Banton's. Change. Banton's not happy with one that's got him under the 33. Steps down and he's tried to uppercut. Yes, he has. He's got to go for 133. Tom Banton has played a wonderful, wonderful knock. 133 is out. He's tried to uppercut it. He was going to run down. He's only going to pull it. But his highest fast-class call from Somerset. He deserves a standing ovation. He won't get to that until he's already had a ready. What a knock and what a partnership between Tom Banton and James Roux. They've done the hard work here. 3775. Surely Somerset can ease to 450 and he's done his job.
I'd be frustrated with that. In the fact we could have just chipped that one, chucked him back down. Hopefully just chipped that one down over, maybe even for 6. He has batted quite stunningly. He has almost taken this game away from Kent single-handedly. There's no blame attributed to that shot. You've got to keep playing the way you're playing. Saw the chance to hit another boundary. He hit 21 of them. And had to walk off there for 133. But brilliant partnership, worth a couple of hundred runs.
Not a bad player to be coming to the wicket now. Lewis Gregory, Somerset skipper.
That's a really strong position.
Has he ever come out to bat in this position? I can't remember Lewis Gregory ever coming out. 377 for 5. Sometimes he's in at 37 for 5. Not 377 for 5.
Are you done for the day?
I'm going to make way.
Shane?
Yeah, I'll let you, Self and Pete Trigo do the last 11, 12 overs of the day. What a day for Somerset. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you all. Thank you very much.
It's delight to have you here, Hedge. Wonderful quiz that you did during that lunch interval as well. Feeks is back. Now they've both got their hundreds. The superstitious period is over. They can change seats. Not been bad to watch that, Driggs.
Yeah, unbelievable. I was wedged in watching the boys do the damage. I was petrified of making a change in the commentary box and bringing the downfall of one of them. Fortunately, now they've both ticked off that landmark. Great knocks by Rue and Banton. Shame to see it go to an end, but always nice. 133, career best round, a jug purchased. For all those cricket fans out there, you get 100, you buy a jug for your teammate. Jug a protein shake these days, though, I think, Sam. I doubt it. The Thatcher's gold will be flowing in the dressing room this evening, I have no doubt about that. For only about half an hour, though.
Well, if ever there was a knock deserving of a jug, it was that one. Both of these two. They have to buy one each, or would they share? They'd save on the cost, share it.
I'm confident they could afford one each.
Which is the modern way. Lewis Gregory, they'd face up to Swanepoel. A couple of wickets for him in. Well, that one keeps a little bit low as well, that. To Harry Finch. Is that as well as you've seen Bant play?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, spoke about it earlier. The side-on view, I think, was indicative of his play. I think the movements he was making, real positive strides, negating the lateral movement, moving out of his crease, and it just shows that a batter trying to impose himself on the game. Lewis Gregory with beautiful cover drive, normally the man for a rear guard action, but finally the Somerset captain could come in and maybe just ice the cake on what has been a magnificent afternoon here at the Cooper Associates County Ground. Swanepoel going for that nice floaty away swinger, the searchy ball, trying to get that edge to the slips, and he's been carved through backward point. What a great shot to open your account.
They haven't been sat there for a couple of hours, not knowing when you're going to come in.
Well, another one of those famous phrases in cricket, the old pad rash, hard to concentrate. Always slightly fearful of coming in after a big partnership. Someone always misses out. And like I said, Lewis has done such a great job this season of the rear guard action. Hopefully he can get himself a score as well, because if he gets going, Somerset will certainly have something to bowl at over the next few days. I think that's a real indication of where Kent are as a team today. Lewis Gregory's played one shot and they've dropped point out. Such a negative move, and then he's able to get an outside edge and pick up a run for it. I don't think I'll ever stop moaning about the lack of backward. I think it's a terribly poor tactical move, and it just smells if you don't fancy bowling a good ball, or you're not backing your bowler.
Well, particularly when the guy who you bring back onto strike is 105 not out.
Well, I know it might be a little bit old-fashioned, but you're effectively setting a field for a drag down or a wide-off volley. I mean, I'm not sure where you're going as a team if you're expecting that from your bowlers. But there we go.
Tough day for DBD out there.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the issues, I suppose. I think Swanepoel and Stewart have stood alone really in some ways. The other bowlers have just leaked boundaries all day, and I think as a captain you obviously do feel like you're one fielder short, but it certainly wouldn't be my backward point, would be the one I'm losing. There we go. That view on the screen, WPA Health Insurance. I mean, that's pretty much the same sort of sunshine we've had today. Look at that. Instead of a tree, we've got that beautiful mast with our floodlights on. Nearly as gorgeous as that orchard scene.
Both naturally conceived. No need for floodlights today, though. 5:25. Sun is still shining. Probably just under an hour's play left. 11 overs remaining. He got through them quite quickly. Grant Stewart, who's been the pick, I think. of the bowlers. 2 for 70 he's got so far. Swanee Pole, 2 for 62. Just had a stat fed into my ear by the man running the operation, Ben. We're on 27 plays and misses we've seen, so it's not like there's been nothing in it for the bowlers.
Yeah.
How many of those were aggressive shots?
27 out of, what's 85 times 6? It was 320. 430 deliveries, 27 player misses. I'm not sure that's a great ratio.
We need to meet the context of what's an average day, do you reckon? County Championship. Don't know.
I feel like I would want to generate a player miss every 2 overs I bowled. So 1 in 12.
Okay, so then yeah, it's
So I feel like that's a very low percentage.
So 45, 50 in a day is probably more average.
Yeah, I'd say that would be. You could mark yourself down as unlucky if you had sort of, maybe 50, 60 player misses in a day's cricket, 27. I think it's just the race, the boundary count, isn't it? 4.5 runs and over. It's a lot of runs to concede on day one. But then again, like I said, I mean, I felt like Bell Drummond and the Kent management have got it right in terms of the players they put out on the field. Don't feel like it was presenting as if it was going to spin a great deal. But then I think, batting first would have made a bit of sense. But like I said, it's 100% down to the fact that there was probably a wicket that they've looked at online, watched the footage, and they've seen that green tinge, and they've seen a 2-day game against Essex where it's gone all over the place, and they probably assumed that was going to be the same today. And I could absolutely understand why Bell Drummond bowled this morning.
And the boundary for Lewis Gregory, just opens the face up there, runs it down to third where there's no one doing the fielding.
Sometimes it just doesn't pan out. I mean, it's I suppose, like I said, back to my Graham Rose phrase about the way you play your cricket. I mean, the bowlers just have backed up the captain, have they? There's been a couple of, there was a Lammonby drop catch, there was a Rue drop catch. I mean, that changes the dynamic of the game straight away there, and both of them were very straightforward. I think Crawley dropped another one a little bit later on in the day. I don't know who that was off, but so he's grass too, and
well, yeah,
that all amounts to a pretty miserable day, I would have said.
I don't know why I said Rue was Chanticleer, because I've got it written in my notes. He was on 31, and that was tip for 6. Banton was dropped on 66, so he basically doubled up. That was the Crawley drop off Stewart. Lammonby was dropped on 1. So I'm not a man you should come to for maths today, given my inability to count. But I reckon, what's that, 68, 60, already cost them best part of 200 runs?
It's not an exact science, but I think the way that you've allowed someone to get into their flow and, every drop catch, it means the next person coming in faces a slightly older ball, so it has a knock-on effect. But yeah, certainly has cost them a fair few runs and an opportunity to bowl Somerset out. There's nothing to say that if Lewis Gregory was in an hour ago, he wouldn't be under a bit more pressure, and it would all feel a little bit different. But we are where we are, as we say. These things do happen. I think Stewart deserved that wicket. Tom Banton, like I said, I think he's been a real good performer. And with all the sort of stats you can bring up, runs per over off your bowling is always a reasonable indication of how you've gone. Both these two are probably bowling now with a new ball because they've shown something.
Stewart's crept up run rate actually in the last 5-6 overs. He was by far the most economical. He was going at just under 3 and over at one point now, just a nudging above 4. But that's just a sign of how well Banton and Ruby batting later in the day.
Yeah, I would say he was getting the brunt of a Banton in on 100 and was sort of freewheeling a little bit. He took a bit of damage there, but Rue's in now. He's got a good history of making hundreds a little bit more sizable. There's definitely a little bit of movement there still. That new ball starting to talk.
What do we reckon if Somerset from here were looking to bat once? What do you reckon they need?
It's too early. How's the Trade Nation win predicting wasp looking?
Where's that? I've never looked at it. Where is it on the website?
Where is that? That must be heavily weighted in the Somerset corner, I'd imagine. I would say a 70%.
Let's have a look. What was it earlier? About 40 to Somerset? Still, Trade Nation win predictor.
40%, draw 55.
Kent 5%
Kent
from
5%.
here. Interesting. From the Somerset County Club Match Centre. But that's not really moved much, because Somerset were nearly 40% when they were 150 for free, weren't they? When Harry was last looking at it.
Come on, Trade Nation win predictor. Come on, be more positive.
Somerset have certainly been positive today, but another old cliche is we haven't seen Kent bat yet. Zach Crawley might be out there thinking, well, I quite fancy a go on this, particularly with the bit between his teeth having dropped a couple of catches.
Yeah, well, you're definitely going to have to get him early. I mean, Ben Compton will bat for a month if you don't bowl a Jaffa at him. I mean, he's an incredibly patient batter who will just grind away, as he's shown time and time again.
Were you with him at Notts for a bit then?
Yeah.
Yeah. And was it just a case of there just not being a spot in the side for him? He's another one of those young players who need to go somewhere else. Yeah,
exactly that. Yeah, he came across a pretty strong batting lineup and decided to move on. Right, certainly the right decision, and he's done really well. I mean, he's had a number of great performances for Ken. Carried his bat through a couple of innings as well, and batted a couple of glass eyes to sleep. He loves to chew the old balls up, doesn't he? I mean,
he really does.
He's one of those accumulators, but he's got a brilliant record, and he definitely churns the runs out. There's no doubt about that.
A couple of years down at Kent. Had that spell out, went out to Zimbabwe as well, didn't he? Scored heavily out there. 6 first class 100s for Kent.
How are we feeling on the live stream, the feed, the comments? What have we got? Are we pretty positive about the day's play? What's the general vibe?
Yeah. People starting to talk about batting once, needing 500. Set up for Gregory over to the Pretorius to come in and whack it. Do you think they'd quite do that yet? There's so much time in this game.
I always think, even on a pitch that's showing this sort of characteristic, I think the bat once scenario has got to look at like a 550. So then you always think that the team batting in the second innings has got to get maximum batting points to get past the follow-on, and I always think that's a pretty good, marker. If you can pick them up for like 280, 320, and then then you can potentially have another go at them. But it just depends, like anything. You don't actually. It's not really about the first innings score. It's about how many overs your guys have to bowl to get them out in the first innings. That's really the issue. If the guys have bowled 3 spells each, and you ask them to follow on, bowlers that are dragging their carcasses across the turf, I mean, you're going to struggle to bowl them out twice. So sometimes, even if you go in and smack it for a couple of hours at least, the bowlers have got an hour of ice baths and showers and sitting down and just taking the load off their feet for a while. So it's more a physical thing, really.
Physical things. Harry Finch just holding his right shoulder. Glove off. Back on now. Just on his left arm. Twitching his neck. Maybe it's contagious streaks. Maybe he's picked up your. Have you had any feedback? Any chiropractors out there that are tuning in after work? Maybe we'll put another call out.
Nothing. There's a guy that club using. I think he lives in Topsham, so a bit too far to go. To be honest, I just anything. Anyone, maybe just a thump on the neck will be better than. There's nothing. I don't think there's many things worse than a cricked neck. Do you know?
No,
I've had it for 2 weeks now.
Oh, it's those little things, non-stop.
Yeah, I'm not one to moan. But gee whiz.
I think a ripped and muscle in my ribs. Was the intercostals they called once?
Oh yeah, they're
That, because you just, every time you laugh or make any sort of noise, that's agony. Amy Matthews has offered you someone up in Scarborough, which is probably, if Topsham's too far to go, I think Scarborough's a bit far. Though it is nice up there. Polly's daughter.
had a few evenings out in Scarborough after the old Scarborough Festival. What a good spot that is.
It's probably the nicest place I've
Probably
watched cricket in England.
Mother, I'll tell you what. There's another recommendation on the food. So Mother Hubbard's Fish and Chip Shop. I think that's what it's called in Scarborough. Fantastic. Oh, what a shot that is!
That shot.
Oh wow, what a shot that is! 6 of the best. James Root. The windmill steering wheel whippage. What a shot that is!
Quite extraordinary that. Anything Tom Banton can do, James Root's going to try and match. He just watches and admires that one, and rightly so. Short boundary. Gadri did that. He's down there. No George Garrett, remember, he limped off a little bit earlier on, so we've had sub-fielders on.
Yeah, there's always one seamer that get a bit of Tauntonitis. Nothing worse than a bit of Tauntonitis from the seam bowler. Yeah, I feel for Stewart. Actually, he's bowled better than his figures, really. But Rue's looking to tuck in now. What a great shot that was! Just drifted a bit straight into the pads and flick, away you go. A bit of a short side, but he got a good piece of it, that's for sure. Yeah, he's playing beautifully today, James Rue. A bit low on form. The scores weren't what we're used to seeing, but he's certainly made hay.
He's just teasing them now. Just feels like he's teasing them. You could do some kind of series, couldn't you? Triggs's chip shop tour of the UK. Just go around the coast in a sort of camper van, eating fish and chips. That'd be great. I would watch that. It's good content, as the youth would say. Get a sponsor involved.
Yeah, I think it's the archetypal British meal, isn't it? The old fish and chips by the seaside, or wherever you may be. Fish and Chip Friday. All the schools they always do Fish and Chip Friday, don't they? But
they have that at cricket grounds. The pro cricketers have that.
You can get terrible fish. You can get terrible fish and chips, and it's so disappointing when you do get a bad one. You've got to do your homework. Sunday roast and fish and chips. You've got to have a recommendation, I think, at least.
400 up Somerset, so another batting bonus point. The parameters changed slightly last year. 250, 300, 350, 400 and 450. See the batting bonus point. Somerset going along really nicely. Well, they could do their research, or they could just tweet you and you probably shortcut it all for them.
Been around the place.
So the Beach Boys song comes into my head there.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about being a seam bowler. If you do a day's grafting, you can definitely fill your boots in the evening. That's for sure.
Did you ever have pedometers or anything when you played on? Like,
Sorry?
Would you ever have a pedometer on? Did you never know how much ground you covered in a day of bowling? No.
No, I think the GPSs came in at the back end, and they're effectively a sports bra, and just
not ideal for bowling.
Just didn't quite see myself the sports bra wearing type, to be honest, and it was really uncomfortable. I did say I'm happy to wear one if you can find another way of sort of it going into a t-shirt or something, but I found the sort of neoprene thing that they put it in so uncomfortable to wear. Not as uncomfortable as the 2006 Somerset one-day shirt that had a really thick seam that sort of went across the equator of your body and just went straight across both nipples.
Which was that one?
Oh, it's Cytec or something was the sponsor. It was dreadful.
Was that a black one, or are we still in maroon?
No, it was like a blue with a big red stripe across the front.
Ah, yes, okay.
Very aggressive seam on the inside, made by that awful brand North Gear.
Yes, I remember those gears. Yeah, it's the Graham Smith kind of era. When you beat Australia in that game, I remember that T20 final win as well. That red and blue odd choices, really baggy stuff as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, It's one of those magnificent decisions from back in the day. I know we play a summer sport, so let's have a hiking company make our kit. There we go. 400 for 5 here at the Cooper Associates County Ground. What a brilliant day's cricket we've had. Daniel Bell Drummond's, taking a bit of chill time at mid-on. He's struggled to contain the runs here against the Somerset batters. The bowlers have, in part, I suppose, Swanee, Paul, Stewart, you'd say, have done a pretty good shift for him, but the other seamers and the off-spinner O'Riordan have just not been able to contain the Somerset batters at all, and now the runs are starting to flow. I suppose he'll probably be thinking back to that 10:30 AM decision and feel like he maybe got that one wrong, but no blame here. His bowlers haven't really backed him up.
Flag and turn.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, I think Gilchrist hasn't bowled a great deal of late.
No, he hasn't bowled for a while. I was just wondering when we might see him again. He's bowled 16 overs, 0.58. He's actually amongst the more economical now. Him and Swanee are about level in terms of economy rate. He's warming up.
He looks like he's kicking his heels out, doing a few stretches. So yeah, we might see a bit of Nate Gilchrist in the attack. Played a bit for Somerset in the second 11. Not sure he played any first team cricket, but I thought he was a tidy bowler back in the day.
I think they were disappointed to lose him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Joey Everson trying to pick up a wicket, get a bit of a division in those bowling figures. He was a pretty consistent wicket taker over the first few years of his career. He's had a slow year so far in terms of wickets.
Now, all his first class cricket has been played for Kent, likewise his List A stuff. 77 first class wickets, always get him at 30, so decent enough record for a young player.
Shot there from Lewis Gregory. He's already looking like he's well at home at the crease at the moment, Lewis, which is a ominous sign for the Kent bowlers. 5 wickets still in the shed. Lots of time left in the game. That is the one benefit of having a healthy run rate. They could really pile on quite a score here, Somerset, if they get their heads right for the rest of today and tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we can see Gregory's confidence. I know that it's a new ball, so it's moving around a bit, but to both bowlers, he's starting a good couple of yards outside his crease. He's just happy, like so confident and comfortable in what he's doing. Movement comes freely.
Oh, it's close. That is close, and that's out. Everson's done the damage. Like a bit of a way swinger to the left-hander that has looked like it was going down the leg side, but it swung back towards the slips and trapped James Rue in front, and he's played around one. Interesting to see a replay of that. I think that was a pretty good piece of bowling by the looks of things. Yeah, down the leg side, it's that's...
Now you can see his legs up. Rue knows. He's looking back up, waiting.
I'm not sure that's straightened. You can see why he's given it, but I'm not sure that's done enough to stay on line.
I don't know. I think Rue's expecting that decision when it hits the pads. 114 over 145 balls.
From that angle, wide of the crease though, Sam, his arm's going to be somewhere near the side crease. And I think where that's hit him, it's hit him on middle stump. Wouldn't surprise me if we had a Hawkeye that would be going down the leg side. It hasn't straightened. That angle is very severe. That's maybe just clipping leg. Yeah, I can see why it's given, definitely, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was going down.
Well, the end decision is James Rue. Brings Craig Overton out into the middle. So Somerset's two bowling all-rounders really, but both fine batters. And they've got a good platform here. What do? Does Lewis Gregory say to Craig, look, we just need to both be not out by the end here?
Well, you've got 2 batters that have got first-class hundreds under their belt, so I think you just try and get yourself in and be around for tomorrow morning. Yeah, it was a good piece of bowling that from Joey Everson. I think that was a fair enough decision, very tight, but you could definitely see why that was given out. Everson into Overton. A lazy forward defensive from the big man. But it gets him his run and he's off the mark.
Oh, he's in good nick, Craig Overton, this summer.
What do we think on the live stream here, Sam? Are we?
Oh, wow.
How many umpires have we got? Are we giving those out?
Right, well, we've got
A few plums.
A few sliding, looked like it was missing leg. Almost walked, says SM is the dog. Hit him almost in line with leg. Plum as it can be. That's hitting if we're bowling. You guys have never watched cricket before.
I think you have.
That's a reasonable comment. Yeah, I think it's probably just clipping leg stump, but it wouldn't surprise me. I'd have loved to have seen a Hawkeye on that. But I absolutely can see why it was given out.
As Rue probably expected it to be given. Like it's difficult, it's an umpire. How much are they thinking about the angle? They've got to be thinking about the angle and things. Have a look from this angle. Reverse
yeah,
one.
It's the angle, and you've got to remember the release point is out near the sideline, so you track an angle. It's probably got, for me, to be plumb, would have to hit him more on off stump to be sort of dead, but I'm pretty happy with that.
You'd be begging for it if you were
Oh,
bowling.
absolutely, absolutely. But if you,
I don't think if that's given on the field and we had DRS, I don't think it's getting overturned though.
You're probably right. Tim Grunewald has jumped on board. He said that's out. Of course, he would say that. No, absolutely, it's close enough. It's close enough.
Nathan Gilchrist is going to come back in to the attack. We haven't seen him for a little bit. Gilchrist, 16 overs, 3 maidens, 0 for 58, so wicketless so far. That's the 0 for, I would suggest. 3 slips in. New batter, Craig Overton, who's been in the runs a little bit this year. 95 not out against Nottinghamshire. 52 unbeaten at the Oval against Surrey.
Gilchrist coming from the Trescothic stand end. Really like Gilchrist as a bowler. Nice, tall, hits the pitch. Not going to be able to bowl too many there though. Craig Overton straight onto that, cuts it through. Gully for 4. Bit of a loosener there from Gilchrist.
And this isn't aimed directly at Gilchrist, but he has just bowled that one. But the problem Beldraman's had today is for every decent ball, for every Jaffa that's beaten the outside edge, there's been 2 or 3 4 balls. Not even that they've needed to be put away, but half volleys or short balls that have just sat up nicely.
Yeah, I think that's you're exactly right. That's been the issue today for Beldraman. He's had to chase the fielders around a little bit. You know, a lot of full deliveries outside off stump, short balls outside off stump. It's very difficult to contain, especially when a batter gets in. You know, throw on top of that a couple of drop catches and isn't going for good reading as the captain does a bit of work out towards the cover boundary. Well fielded by Beldraman. There goes to pick up 3 runs.
What he hasn't been able to do is go to a frontline spinner. Marcus O'Riordan bowled all right, but he's got just 11 wickets in his 15 first-class games. He didn't bowl in the last time the teams played here, I think Harry was saying.
A bit of juggling here did DBD. Lucky he kept that foot in play. Oh, nicely done. Good footwork, young man. Well, he's probably not a young man now. He's probably in his 30s now.
That's still quite young though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's been around so long. He must have played about 14 or 15 years.
Such a good player. He used to just get runs for fun against Somerset, especially in one-day cricket. He used to thump us around everywhere.
He scores in unusual spots, so he's quite risky, kind of behind square. Yeah, he's all right there. Just seeing it again on our internal replays. Yeah, but he's not. He would rightly say, you know, the bowlers haven't. If we dropped a few catches, that could have changed it. I've lost a bowler due to injury. Didn't have a frontline spinner. It's easy for us to sit up here and say, "Oh, that's a bad decision, Daniel." They had Somerset 116 for free. Just came up against John Banton and James Root in fine form as Gregory's on the back foot. He also looks in fine touch. It's going to be another chase on. It's a good bit of work. That's Joey Everson is out there. Gets around.
Yeah, good work by the 3 Kent fielders. They're converging on that ball. Joey Everson flicks it back. Grant Stewart's run all the way from mid-off to throw it in. Bell Drummond's chased it as well, so hunting impact shows that the Kent players are playing with a good attitude.
There's
Yes,
Simon Thurston.
that is the shirt up on screen now, the Nipple Destroyer.
Oh yeah, those two. You can just see the stitched logos.
It was that
of this thing.
it was that band there that used to get you.
That one looks like it's brand new with tags, so it's Blackacre Farm Egg Stadium Press.
Just looking to get into his spell. Just bowl a bit of everything at the moment, Gilchrist. Short wide, full wide.
Thanks, Simon Thurston's been excellent on Twitter, or X I should say, for us today. Bit of cloud cover. Still a very good crowd in today. That's a lovely shot from Craig Overton. Again, there's going to be 3 Kent fielders giving chase. Grant Stewart is bowling all day. That is brilliant work from Grant Stewart. Hats off to him. He's bowled 20 overs. Remember, he's chased that one and I think clawed it back just inside the rope. Everyone else is in agreement. Fair play to him. No doubt in that commitment. It's a lovely shot from Craig.
Yeah, superb shot. Another poor piece of bowling. Nice floaty half volley, dealt with by Craig, and a great bit of fielding. Just reels it back in time. Benefit of the doubt to the fielder there. That's a superb effort. And even if he was touching the rope, I'd still say 3.
Yeah, superb.
Great
that
effort.
Got a huge round of applause from those still in the Cooper Associates County Ground, of which there were around 2,000 today. Most of them are still here. Why would you leave? You've got Tom Banton, James Reed batting like they were, and now Craig Overton, Lewis Gregory to watch.
It's an important little period this for Somerset. I think if Kent can just raise their game, pick up a couple of wickets, it will change the outcome massively in terms of how long they'll have to field in the morning. Somerset can keep these wickets intact. I think that really does change the way the Nandos will taste tonight and how the bowlers will feel in the warm-up in the morning. If they can pick up another 1-2 wickets. See a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. All of a sudden they're staring down the barrel of 450, maybe not 556.
See what's going on elsewhere. Warwickshire against Essex, slightly more sedate day there, 284 for 6. Warwickshire have reached. Ed Barnard, back-to-back hundreds for him. Michael Burgess 95 as well, so 180 that partnership there. Rescued Warwickshire from a fair bit of trouble. Gloucestershire have lost a couple of wickets. Cameron Bancroft is also out, so they're 365 for 2. Ben Mike and Louis Kimber taking the wickets for them up at what is the Upton Steel County Ground. It will always be Grace Road, to my mind. Nottinghamshire 178 for 7 against Hampshire. Good shot, but straight at Daniel Bell-Drummond, but mid-on. Worcestershire 88 for 5 at the Oval, so having bowled Surrey out for 213. In a bit of trouble themselves. Dan Worrell 3 for 16. Hooping it around trees, I suspect. Abbott and Jordan Clark. Any chance Jordan Clark might play for England? I heard a couple of shouts.
Well, he seems to put the numbers on the board, doesn't he? I think he's always doing reasonably well. If he can have a real purple patch over a summer, maybe a one-day comp, or in the blast, if he can really hit the ground running, bat and ball, you never know. Lots of good cricketers knocking around, and with the changing dynamic of cricket, franchise cricket, and the amount of games that are played now, England have got that talent pool where they can rotate players in and out and keep them fresh. is pretty important.
And the over 417.6. Thank you very much as ever to WPA Health Insurance for their continued ongoing sponsorship.
Very disappointed they haven't brought a chiropractor down to sort me out. They could have on stream clunked me into position.
That'd be a good
Oh,
lunchtime session.
you could hear it in the mic as well, my neck cracking.
You don't moan about it though.
Something's got to give, mate. I'm not sure I can get through another few days of this.
Do you not need a tennis ball up against the wall at home? Would that help? That's it.
I've tried everything.
Gilchrist continuing. 4 overs left today. Cut away.
Oh, what a shot that is. Very good. That is an absolute Robin Smith special.
Well, that being in good nick. He's moved on to 16 from 11 balls here. Thumped that. Dismissive of the bowler.
It's just a gift though, isn't it? Especially with that
Too many.
field. No gully in place, no backward point. And that's a pretty nice cover drive we see there, but that cut shot he just played was absolutely brutal.
Swanee Bolt going through. Well, he's stretching. I'm not sure if we'll see him again today though. He's going to get at least a couple, if not 4 here. Ben Compton's going to have to chase it up the hill. It's slowing up slightly. Ben Compton does well. Short boundary. Pulls it back in. A couple more for Craig Overton. 18 each then for these two. Just joining us. Well, where have you been all day? Fantastic partnership. Tom Banton and James Root. 205 it was worth for the 5th wicket. Both made centuries.
It's Fish and Chip Friday. It's where everyone's been. They've been out, walked down the beach.
And yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Would you get, so on a Friday at lunchtime at county grounds, would you get that as players' lunch, Fish and Chip Friday? No. Back in the day, 15 years ago, might you have got that? No.
Maybe. No, there's a fish and chip outlet underneath the Botham stand. I don't know if that's open on all match days, but it's certainly open on the one days. There's a fish and chip shop down St James Street that's quite popular with the Somerset faithful.
What's it called? It's a tiny little place, isn't it?
Oh, lovely shot there. Great fielding. Right, sure. He's thrown himself around excellently today. He's sporting odd shoes, which is unusual. He's obviously got maybe his landing foot is a little bit uncomfortable with one brand and prefers the other. He's got an Adidas on his left and an Asics on his right.
Maybe he's just doubling up on the sponsorship deals. Why not? It's better, but just not enough has been in that area.
Get expensive that though, wouldn't it? Unless he doesn't mind doing it the other way round, but I'm assuming that there's a reason. It's probably, as a right-handed bowler, there's probably a reason, and from wearing both of those brands, the Adidas shoe is definitely a little bit softer on the top of your foot than the Asics is. Maybe that landing foot that slams down, he just needs a little bit more give in the material. Lovely cover drive there from Lewis Gregory's. Nearly picked up 4, but another brilliant effort from the fieldsman out there. Joey Everson diving through a row of houses. Stewart doing the fielding. They're doing some work. Gilchrist has come into this spell and just has not hit the areas the captain would be wanting at all.
No, but you can't doubt their commitment in the field. Just 3 overs to go. They've been out there for 93 overs and the bowlers are still diving around. There's that scorecard looking pretty healthy from a Somerset perspective. Sean Dixon, felt like a long day for him. He went very early on for just 4. Everyone else has got in. Lemon B with his 69, a couple of centuries as well. 133 for Banton from 174 balls. 114 off 145 balls for James Root. Renshaw 40 2025. And now these two, Gregory and Overton, both ticking along. Will it be Fish and Chip Friday for you tonight then? You pop in, pick up your 50p commission from your sale earlier in the week?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'll try and get back on something like an athlete's diet. I've been a bit of a lush over the last few months, eating a bit too much of the bad stuff. So, you know, Fish and Chip Friday is all well and good, but half a kilo of chips on once a week doesn't do you any good, does it?
Wow.
I'm not a lean, mean writing machine like you are, Sam.
What's it tomorrow? Playing, or is it a training day before Storm's first game?
No, I'm playing tomorrow. Playing for Burbage and Eastern Royal.
Oh, yeah. Home or away?
We are home. So
well, I'm going to drop my fiance's parents a message then.
I'm going to try and get off the mark, try and get myself to double figures and bowl me 10 overs. Try and keep my head on. I get so angry when I bowl. I'm a very placid man generally, but when I bowl in cricket, head goes.
Oh, it's always been the way, is it?
Always, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It might be the adrenaline you need, the slight bit of pain you're going through. Just
internally, or do you externalise it?
Just bowling just makes people grumpy, I think. You know, you've had Andy Caddick on the live stream. You know, he's a grumpy old fast bowler, isn't he? Lovely shot there from Lewis Gregory. Moves him on to 25. Somerset batter really making hay now, punishing these tired bodies of the Kent bowlers. Joey Everson in particular has just picked up that wicket, but he's just done a load of fielding on the cover boundary. Probably not running in with quite the vigour. And look how far Lewis Gregory is batting out the crease. He's halfway down the pitch already. My phone's obviously listening to me because Uber Eats has just sent me a notification. These phones are crafty, aren't
it's
they,
horrible, that, isn't it? That's a bit weird. So what does it want you? Is it offering you the finest?
Let's have a look.
It's Everson. He's in almost a jab back down on that one, Lewis Gregory.
No, my brother's trying to ring me. No, it's just offering me just about anything.
Stops for you, does it?
Just never ending.
You got an overseas this year? Another IPL replacement coming into Burbage?
We've got Big Del from Colombo.
Nice.
Delon, he's a nice lad, lovely cricketer. I'll get the wickets, he'll get the runs. Happy days.
431 for 6. 2 overs left in the day then. Brilliant to have you all alongside us. Somerset fans, plenty of regulars, some newbies. Kent fans too as well. Always welcome. There's a few Kent fans in the ground. I've seen a couple of hats. Nice little long weekend away in Somerset. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure the Kent fans that are with us today, they can nip down the road to the Ringer Bells.
It's nice in
Have
there.
a pint after play. I know there's across the road from the St Lawrence ground, there's the Bat and Ball. We used to nip in for a pint after a day's play. Always nice to have a little sherbet to take the edge off the pain.
Hove's got some nice pubs near it, hasn't it? They're not one right on the ground. Gilchrist in.
Yeah, there is one, isn't there? Just in the courtyard as you go in.
Pushing it to Marcus Stewart. 11 balls left in the day. So when are you back? Are you back Monday?
Yeah, back in on Monday with the girls on Sunday at Bristol for their first 2020 match. That'll be good viewing.
Is that 2:30
Keep an eye on the score and tune into the feed. Hopefully only. Yeah, that's the only time I'm going to hear you celebrate at 99.
I hope it is as well.
And the next one will be an ice cream, hopefully.
I knew that line was coming.
It's hard though, isn't it? You get a bit attached to some of the players, their trials and tribulations, especially Banton with the red ball cricket. So you're desperate to see him, pick up from that early form that he showed in the early part of his career. Nice to see him get another 100 and you know, put a flag down in his first-class career.
You know, I just celebrated twice for him. I looked up, thought it was on 99, then the quick single he took sold me as well. It was the kind of single you take on 99. I got to hold my hands up. This is just a mistake. Pulled away into the gap. There's a deep square and a fine leg. Craig Overton is quite out there. He's hitting the ball very, very high. He's a good nick this year. He moves on to 23. Gets a fist bump from Lewis Gregory.
Yeah, Gilchrist is not enjoying his return to Taunton so far. He's running the risk of bringing up quite an early gallon if he doesn't just try and sharpen up his lines and lengths a little bit. It's one place where you can't really stray off your line, and he's just been a bit too full and then too short. He's bowled an absolute beauty there, and he's got a well-deserved wicket. He hasn't celebrated. That's just a sign of the frustration, but that was an absolutely magnificent delivery there from Nathan Gilchrist. He's really deserved that. Catches the edge of Craig Overton, and that, I suppose, will be actually quite a sign for the Somerset bowlers. There is something in this wicket that absolutely leapt and nipped off of a pitch. Maybe a sign that the Kent bowlers just haven't quite hit those areas enough today, but Overton is out for an enterprising and exciting 23 off 18 balls. Somerset 435 for 7.
Yeah, that's why I think you wouldn't be too worried if you're a Somerset bowler, because there's just been those signs that if you put the ball in the right area and you bowl consistently in the right area, there is a little bit out there. Miguel Pretorius is making his way.
I mean, this boy plays some shots, doesn't he? I mean, well, we've seen some shots from Overton and Gregory since they've got together, but this lad doesn't mess around. He's a big, strong boy. Big old shoulders. He gives it a good old thump when he gets going.
Yeah, and I almost wondered if they might send Davey or Leach out at this point, just because what you don't want is someone trying to thump it. But I don't know. I mean, their approach today has been fantastic. They lost wickets that you might say, well, the shot selection wasn't great if you're being ultra critical, or you've given bowlers a little bit there. But actually, I just like the way they've been aggressive and played with intent, and they've gone, right, well, there's going to be no blame attached if you get out trying to score runs quickly. A few of you need to come off, and they have done, so I'm a big fan of it. 3 slips.
It's a really nice piece of bowling, that from Gilchrist.
Look at point, Triggs.
Oh, mate, well, they have a free run, get off the mark.
New batter in.
Crazy days. Mind you, if he slashes one out and gets caught deep point, maybe that could be the moment I'll stop moaning about it. Oh, nice delivery there. Just stay in there, Nate, and you'll have much better figures at the end of tomorrow lunchtime.
85.
Wow, Pretorius just had a little look there. Yeah, he's had a nice defensive prod at that one. Whoosh. You don't mess around, this boy. Gilchrist could end up picking up a couple of bowls here if he gets his head on. 1 ball to go. Very nicely bowled. Pretorius with a rare defensive stroke.
So still 15 runs to get that last batting bowling point. Let's have a look at the dismissal of Craig Overton earlier in that previous over. He was trying to force it into the offside. It was just a bit too tight to him. Got a tad big on him. It's a shot he was trying to play. He wasn't there. Didn't quite have the width. Backed well, Craig, though.
Well, I think Craig Overton's nicked that then, and he's just thought, you know what, that's where I bowl a lot of my balls, in that area.
Yeah, you're not.
There's definitely a little bit there. I think it's important that the wicket is kept its carry, so if you bowl in good areas, there is a chance. Everson to bowl from the river end, the 96th of the day, 435 for 7. Somerset's day, without doubt. Piling on the runs, but can they keep a few in the shed for tomorrow? Everson's come back well. Bowled a nice disciplined spell this evening. He's done some brilliant fielding as well. Picked up the key wicket of James Rue with that ball that angled in from around the wicket, trapped James Rue in front.
Defensive shot there from Lewis Gregory, the skipper, who's been in good nick. Still one slip in, Marcus O'Riordan. 15 runs needed for that last batting bonus point. Plenty of time though, still 15 overs to do it, so they're in no hurry. Setting themselves up nicely here. Somerset 435 for 7. Just, well, it was a pull shot. It was more a little turn around the corner. It was in position early. It sat up, and rather than trying to hit it too hard, knowing there was a deep square leg out and a long leg out, Lewis Gregory just makes sure he hits that one down into the ground. Guided. As Miguel Pretorius takes his guard. He's got 3 balls left today. What is he going to do with these 3 balls? I wouldn't like to call it. This could be anything. He might just pat them back to the bowler. He might try and hit a couple over the Lordy and both from stand. 3 slips, O'Riordan, Crawley, and Denley's more at a gully, a 4th slip. And that is the gap between 4th slip and backward point. And Miguel Pretorius left the mark on the boundary. That was a nice looking shot as well. Just opening the face. Got the angle. Oh, and that was awkward. So just off the screen, there's the shot from Miguel Pretorius. Harry Finch has just thrown it back at Ben Compton at cover. Sold him well short. Was one of those that just bounced on the half volley. And he took Compton's angle out. If you're in the area and you're at a loss tomorrow, why not head down to the Cooper Associates County Ground? For a fraction of the price of Test cricket, you're going to see Craig Overton, Lewis Gregory and Jack Leach at some point. Everton is in to Pretorius. Bowl at Zach Crawley, Joe Denley. So we're talking about the very best, some international cricketers here. All of them played for England.
And a very interested England batting coach lurking around the grounds. Marcus Trescothick. He was in today.
Was he?
I spotted him downstairs, peering through a tiny window, keeping an eye on the likes of Banton and Rue, and he's done a session with Zach Crawley. I'm sure he'll be very interested to see how he goes tomorrow. He won't be too far away.
Well, we will probably find out how Zach Crawley gets on tomorrow, because it's the end of today. 440 for 7. It's been an excellent day for Somerset. Rutherford won the toss and stuck them in. Hundreds for Banton and Rue, 133 and 114 respectively. 69 for Tom Lammonby, 40 for Renshaw. A couple of wickets each for Stewart and Swanee Pole. Actually bowled pretty well. Stewart's figures don't really do him justice. 1 each for Gilchrist. George Garrett, who limped off much earlier, hopefully that's not too serious. Jerry Everson, 1 for Lewis Gregory. He's got a big smile on his face as he wanders off. And see why.
Yeah, happy captain. Happy that he lost the toss, and happy of how his batters have done the damage today. Certainly Somerset's day, 440 for 7. But credit to Stewart, Swanepoel and Everson. I thought they toiled pretty hard. A couple of the other bowlers just went off-piste a little bit. Made it hard for the Kent captain to really control the run rate. That is one of the issues. You can't control the run rate. The pressure is always off. But yeah, it's been a fascinating day's cricket. It looks very intriguingly well set up for the next 3 days. So I will look forward to seeing you in a few days' time in the conclusion of the game. But have a great weekend, everyone, and if you can make it to the ground or tune in, please do so. I've been Pete Trigo, Sam Dalling and Harry Everett has been with me. Sam's obviously supported 100 twice, so you know, not his finest moment. But it's been a long day, hasn't it, Sam?
It gives us some good, well, you got some good content to take the mick out of me for you. Do have a look on the Somerset social media channels as well. Usually there's only one interviewee afterwards, but I reckon they might have a word with both Tom Banton and James Rue, so we'll hear what they have to say about those knocks. And I think I'm back on Monday with you as well. So
can't wait, buddy. Can't wait.
Weekend.